Everybody, welcome in. We're doing session 2 of Kingmaker and our Kingmaker campaign. We have just started out. We finished our first episode. We're now doing episode number 2. And we've got a little bit of housekeeping to talk about, and then we're gonna get right into it. Before we do the housekeeping, I wanted to introduce all the players and their characters, and we have in fact had a character change. So we'll spend a little time with the first 3 players, and then when we get to the 4th player, we're going to let them kind of go off about their character a little bit. So let's start with Geek of Fury. Geek of Fury, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us about your character real quick, just to remind everyone what we're dealing with.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Geek of Fury, and I'm playing Storbjorn Snoskrid, who is a half-orc from the land of Lenorm Kings. He's been traveling around the Inner Sea, mostly Avestan, and was in Gult when he heard about a great competition happening in Restov in Brevoy, and decided, yes, this is where he was going to make his name. So he headed north, and now we're on our way to Oleg's trading post.
There we go. That is Geek of Fury. I can't let you go without giving you something personal about yourself.
I mean, yeah, I'm also a streamer on Twitch, and I play all kinds of games on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I have been playing a whole lot of Skyrim lately because that game is massive and one of my favorite games ever. And I'm using a pretty massive mod list called Gate of Sovngarde. With Legacy of the Dragonborn. So it's lots of content and lots of gaming. Hope to see you guys there. Oh, wait.
More.
Got to plug the URL. It's twitch.tv/geek_of_fury.
That's Geek of Fury. And now let's get to Shadow. Shadow, tell everybody who you is and tell us a quick overview of your character again. Remind everyone.
Hi, my name is Shadow. I am playing Aurelia. I can't even say my own character's name. Aloria Opalite. She is a half pixie, half gnome. She is the oldest sister of 9 siblings. She spent most of her life being surrogate mom, and she's always kind of wanted to go investigate her pixie side of her. So when there was a call to have this little reward, she checked it out, and now she's joined up with this little party, and we're going to try and see if we can become kings and queens of the Stolen Land at some point.
All right, let's go on to Zankt. Tell us about you and your character.
Hello, I'm Zankt. I believe I'm the lone East Coaster in the wilds of Pennsylvania. Go Birds. I am playing a Oni spawn tiefling who's kind of a brawny tracker type. He got a big great sword and loves to smack things with it. Name is Zephyros Draxilian.
There we go. And finally, we have Gawain. Gawain, tell us about you, and then tell us about this brand new character. Spend a little extra time on this character since nobody's seen or heard of this character before.
All right. I'm Gawain. My new character is Dalus Tierm. He is a half-elf expert who will one day be an arcanist, if he survives, assuming. And he was an ex-brigand. He used to be a brigand in the Stolen Lands, but following some traumatic events, he retired from that. He tried to turn his life around. He opened a barrister office, I believe is the technical term, in Restov. But recent events have found him joining this group looking to head into the Stolen Lands, and he's hoping he doesn't run into any old friends from the old days, because that's going to be awkward.
Okay, so there's something that our viewers should know then about this character. People might wonder what happened to the previous character. Why is this suddenly going from a woman who was a completely different class to a dude who is now some kind of brigand? And the answer is in my house rules section on our Discord server. I will put a Discord invite on screen in case anybody wants to get in. You guys, the viewers, all have access to all the same stuff that the players do. I put up all the house rules. I put up all the character sheets and stat blocks. Everything's all available on the Kingmaker channel on my Discord server. And one of those house rules states that players are free to revise their characters completely, bringing in entirely new characters after game 1 and after game 2. But whatever they show up to game 3 with is the final thing. Now, if they absolutely hate their character, even after game 3, and they want to revise it again and again and again, they actually can. But at that point, all the regular rules kick in that Pathfinder offers for that kind of thing, which means they'd pay money for retraining. If they need to completely drop the character entirely and get a different one, then my house rule kicks in at that point, which states that if you bring a new character in after game 3, completely new character, then your character loses a level. So it gets really difficult after game 3 to bring a new character in. It can happen, especially if you're desperate to make it happen. It can happen. But in games 1, 2, we totally are open to the players kind of doing whatever they want to get a character that they feel satisfied with and sets them up well for the rest of the campaign. There are 2 other things to mention before we get going, and one of them is going to be kind of fun for the players, so we'll probably do that right now. And that is Shadow. I'm probably going to put a little clip of you up on screen right now, right here.
Can we do some knowledge checks about the area? I bought some maps and like compasses and shit to help us get around.
Absolutely.
But it would be nice just to have an idea of things as well.
There, we're good. What that little clip is you during the previous game asking flat out for rumors, information, knowledge checks, anything about the game, the locations, the towns, and like you were like, what can we know about anything? And I did not do my job as a GM because this game actually provides a pile of rumors, and I just didn't give you any. I let you do some knowledge checks to know things about the area, but that was me just telling you what I know about the area. There's an actual rumor roll table. So I should have offered that to you. And since I didn't, I'm going to offer it to you now. In fact, I'm going to give you a tiny bit of meta information. The players, you guys can decide how far you want to go with this. The first module offers a rumor roll in Restov, and it offers rumor rolls in Oleg's. And you guys are free to, you can't do Oleg's yet. You're not there. But if when you get to Oleg's, you're like, we want to hunker down and talk to people and get rumors and stuff, that can happen. In the meantime, if you guys want to do rolls for rumors about Restov, we can see what your characters know. If you're interested in that. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to.
What would the roll be?
It is a diplomacy check. It's essentially gather information. It's you talking to people over the course of days, weeks, months, or years as you lived there or when you came in. If you like came in for the competition.
Well, I definitely would like to do that roll. I'll go ahead and do that now.
Okay.
And I rolled a 24. Nice.
Ooh, that's really good. You're going to get 2 rumors.
Ah, I missed by 1 for the next one, huh? Dang.
You did.
Do you want us to all roll up front, or do you want us to go through do you want to go through those rumors and then how do you want to deal with that?
Oh, no. You guys can all give me a roll now, and then we'll just whip through it after we see all the rolls. That'd be great. And that's
All
if you
right,
even want to. You don't have to.
Might as well. It doesn't sound like there's any penalty for it.
Right.
So I will roll. And I got
Ouch. Ouch.
So
okay.
If there's any fake news, I've got it.
Yeah.
I got an 18, surprisingly. I do not have a very high bonus to this, but
No, that's okay. That's okay. So it's actually going to work
rolled
out
pretty
great. What?
Terribly but got a 15.
But that's actually great too. So 15 gets you 1, 20 gets you 2, 25 gets you 3, 30 gets you 4. So we're going to give Geek of Fury 1, we're going to give Gawain 1, and we're going to give Shadow 1. Shadow's character is
Wait, I was supposed to
Aloria.
get 2, I thought.
No, you're right. You're going to get 2. You're going to get 2. So let's give you a handout. This handout has no artwork to it. It only has the rumor. Rumor for Geek of Fury. Okay. Save. I'll leave that on screen for a moment for the viewers, and let me show to Geek. Good. Then let's make another handout. Save. Leave that on screen for the viewers to see for a moment there as well. Awesome. And then let's do our final round. This is going to be Aloria. Okay, I'm going to leave this one up on screen for the viewers as well for a moment, and let's show it to Shadow. There you go.
Oh, hello. Okay, I'm happy to share my rumors if you guys want to know rumors.
Sure, I'll share mine.
Okay, let's see if I can read. Wish me luck, guys.
Good luck, Shadow.
Coral the Conqueror made a pact with otherworldly forces to obtain not only his vast army, but also the aid of his red dragon allies. The disappearance of House of Rogarvia is the result of Coral's debt finally coming due.
That's rumor 1. Yep.
And then the next one feels like more like random info, but it's good to know. Though Brevians make a point to honor all gods, 3 hold particular prominence among these hardy folk. Abadar, favored by the merchants and trading class. Gorum, favored by the sword lords and almost all guards and militia. And Pharasma, considered the deity of the common people, who are more concerned with cultivation, birthing, and harvesting rather than wealth or war. And I'll just add in some knowledge for anyone who doesn't know. Abadar is like the merchant god. He's like, I think he's lawful neutral and he's all about like money and fair trade. And then Gorum is I think just
Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral, like war god. And then Pharasma is kind of like the life and death, like, I don't know, almost like a neutrally aligned Grim Reaper kind of chick. She's very cool.
True. Although the way it sounds from this rumor, they're kind of treating Pharasma a little bit like you treat Aristil.
A little.
Yeah, like the harvesting god, but it's okay. It's all good.
Okay, those are my rumors.
My rumor. The schools, salons, and tap rooms of Rostov are hotbeds of rebellious talk against the reign of King Nilesky Sertova, with young firebrands in search of a leader to rally them to the cause.
Okay,
Good.
that makes sense with the whole Civil War stuff we've been hearing.
My rumor is that the Red Table Square is only for executions and duels to the death. Legend has it that the platform has never been washed.
Gross.
Excellent.
Would we know what Red Table Square is? Sorry, I didn't
if you lived in Rostov or you were there for longer than say a day or 2 or 3, you'd absolutely know what it is. It's maybe a little funny for Geek of Fury's character to get this because he wasn't living in Rostov. But I would suggest maybe that Geek of Fury's character found it to be quite a spectacle, maybe, and that's how he picked up on it. But here's the interesting story that goes with it. About a year ago, I was prepping for this game, and I saw this story about how Rostov, being a city for martial like warriors, being all about the sword lords and so on, that they had this thing called Red Table Square, which was that there's a 4 or 5 foot tall platform made of stone that's round, that sits inside of the square being the community area, and that this circle was like a dueling or combat circle, and that as people would fight and bleed out, the town was very proud of never washing that thing. They were like, no, this is our legend. Like we are a hard-driven people, and we do not shy away from bloody warfare. And let it be known, this table stands as kind of a testament to who we are. And it still gets washed, it still gets washed a little bit in terms of that there's rains and things like that that are going to wash the table clean or get it somewhat clean. But bloodstains can persist. And so I saw that info about the town of Rostov, and I thought that's really quite compelling. It's an interesting story to talk about the Sword Lords. Then, about a month ago, I wanted to prep these rumors, and I could not find where the hell this story came from. I went through every official document that Paizo has ever released, and I just could not find where the Red Table Square was. And I eventually, about, 3-4 weeks ago, when I knew this game was starting to happen, I eventually went on to Reddit, and I was in a little panic. I was like, hey, Reddit, I need somebody who knows the Pathfinder lore better than I do to tell me about Red Table Square. And everybody was utterly confused because I didn't even have the name right. I think I just called it like the Red Circle or something like that. So they couldn't even look up the correct title. And so people just were confused. They just said, we've never heard of that, bro. Don't know what you're talking about. And I was really frustrated because I was certain I had read it. I did not hallucinate it. Well, I'm going to put it up on screen for everybody now because I figured out how I know it, and I was so happy to finally know it. I found it again a couple days ago, just in time for you guys to get the rumors, and I'm putting it up on screen. But there is a DeviantArt user. Oop, hold on, I just screwed up my whole thing. Oh my goodness.
DeviantArt.
Yeah, DeviantArt. You know that old art place, that old art website?
Yes, I am aware.
Yeah.
Just for getting lore from DeviantArt, that's funny.
It's amazing though. It's really good. So the DeviantArt user is named the Worm Ouroboros, and
Okay.
he ran Kingmaker as a mythic campaign, and he put together a whole map, a new map of the city of Rostov, and it uses the same like basic layout of the original, but it's recolored, and he's now labeled over 25 of the buildings. He's labeled 28 of the buildings, so he's really fleshed out the town. And one of the things that he did is he's labeled the market square or the town square as Red Table Square. And he's added in all this information about how there's this round stone platform that rises up and is completely bloodied from all the sword lords and all their students fighting each other and dueling. Turns out, guys, I put this all on screen for the viewers to see, but it turns out this entire bit of text that I caught and loved and thought was so cool about the town is completely made up by a dungeon master from years ago. It's just completely made up. In fact, there's a huge chunk of information about Rostov that is listed on this page that is completely made up by this dude. And I'm kind of going to pull, maybe not all of it, but a lot of it, and have it be part of Rostov. So we're going to make the Red Table Square be official. It's the real deal. It is in my campaign, and I love it.
Thanks, random DeviantArt user.
Yep. Oh, we have one more thing to do, and this actually will have an effect on you guys. During the last game, I talked about the fact that there is a really cool weather calendar, and that was important also because Shadow was asking about it. Shadow was like, we need to know what's going on with the weather.
Like, do we need cold weather gear and shit? Yeah.
Right. And it turns out that it is, in fact, I thought it was going to be sort of like April, May, something like that. Turns out it's not. You are in February. It is winter, and it has snowed. Now, I don't believe it's snowing miserably. Let me see if I can explain this to you guys. What do we have here?
Am I allowed to have bought cold weather gear?
You are. You can definitely retcon that. We're still in the revision phase. Although I will say the day that you leave, the 24th of Callistril, 24th of Callistril, there is no snow. And in fact, there hasn't been snow for a few days. The last time it snowed, it was pretty good snow. You got about a foot of snow overnight, and then a lot of snow during the day. But that was 2 days prior to the whole thing. We might even take that out because we had to have the competition during around that time, and so that would make it silly. Or we might put the competition the day before. That's what we'll do. So the competition happens probably on the 21st or the 20th of Callistril is when it actually happened. And then you guys took a couple days making potions. During the time you're making potions, it snowed badly. By the time we hit the 24th and you guys are now, charter signed, writ is given to you, you are heading out of town. By that day, the snow is gone. You have open roads. Now the roads are muddy, so it's not great, but it's totally working. In case anybody wants to panic about it, you have a few days of clear skies or sort of okay skies. So you're not going to die from frost over the next 2 or 3 days. You'll be okay. But if you do want to buy cold weather gear, you can. You can even just swap out some of the gear that you have and exchange it, since we're doing a little quick retcon here, if you need to. And you could either, retcon that you got it in Rostov, or you could say you're getting it right now in, oh no, I've forgotten the name of the town that you're in. Nivakta's Crossing.
Yeah. How much does it cost normally?
It is 8 gold pieces, and it gives you a +5 circumstance bonus to your fortitude saves versus cold weather.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I can spare 8 gold.
Mm-hmm. In that case, let's begin. Gang, it is a new day. You wake up, you're maybe getting that cold weather gear out and putting it on. You have awakened outside of town, not in town. You set up camp, I believe. If I were to pull a square, I think we would probably say that you are somewhere over here. Yeah, I just threw a little red square down. I think you guys are camping there. So, what do you guys want to do before I take you off the map?
Man,
Breakfast, duh.
Yeah, make some tea and biscuits for breakfast, and I have biscuit mix.
Ooh,
Excellent.
I forgot to ask. Let's see. There was wasn't there a pet from the like a cat or something from the villain that we fought?
During the test game, yes, there was.
Oh, was that the
with
test
a
game?
pet, yeah.
Sorry.
There was no battle in the actual game.
You're right. I'm sorry.
All right.
if you're referring to the leopard that killed me in the test game, yes, there was.
I have to admit, I got really nervous there
apologize.
because I was like, I don't remember a fight that happened during the last game, but
Yeah, I was really confused for a second, but yeah, that was the test game.
Okay, never mind.
all right, good.
I was gonna make some bacon, but you can't have bacon now.
Okay, good.
Wake up in the morning, stretch my wings, make some tea, have something tasty for breakfast.
I mutter something about not having bacon when I want it.
Okay, good.
Well, you might have had bacon if you had rolled better on their survival.
True.
That I do remember. Okay, yeah. My own fault.
So, given the opportunity to knock around Nivakta's crossing, it sounds like mostly what you guys do is you get up, you get ready, you prep for the day, and you're good. That's all you need to do.
Pretty much.
If that's the case, I'm going to drop you back onto our map. Let me see if I can find...
If it's possible to say goodbye, I think this was our like parting point from like Amiri and what's his name? The Marka
Magar.
That one.
Magar.
Yeah, Magar
Magar.
Barn.
Yeah, so I want to say goodbye to their groups and everything because I think this is where we said we're parting ways with at least one of them.
Right.
Yeah, Magar's group is
Magar's.
dropping off first.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is in fact the point where they will head south. So I put the map up in front of you guys. You can see Nivakta's crossing does have a road trailing south. And at this point they're heading out. And he sort of looks at you guys as he's leaving, and he sort of like walks his horse forward a little bit after you guys all say your goodbyes and stuff. And as he sort of walks his horse forward, he puts it into a little, like the lightest of trots, the tiniest of trots. And you see all these men that are going with him all of a sudden who don't have horses. They just start running like, whoa, and they just start running after him. And he sort of looks back at you guys, gives you guys a wink. He's like, ha, ha, ha. And he's often riding. Very amused by himself.
Aloria's gonna like raise an eyebrow and kind of shake her head and be like, kind of mutter under her breath, I don't know if I like that guy.
Yeah.
Perhaps he's heard his own biography a few too many times.
Yeah.
He's high on his own farts is what's going on.
So,
But I mean, honestly, if you had a bunch of sycophants running around telling you how great you are all the time, wouldn't you also get a tad full of yourself and at the same time a little tired of hearing your own about how your shit doesn't stink?
I mean, maybe, but it doesn't mean you have to be an asshole at the same time.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure being polite didn't work. So,
Oh well, he's off now.
He is.
I shan't insult him to his face.
So,
That's rude, after all.
with Magar greeted and goodbyed and heading off, that leaves you with Amiri, and Amiri's team is not leaving. And if you guys still want to do what you did last time, that would be keeping the cart going at their pace of 30 feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm happy to
Good with
keep
that.
traveling with them. I'd like to try and be friendly with all these people because best case scenario, there are neighbors in friendly country,
Yeah.
territory things. I don't know.
Yeah. So, as you head out, we know you guys can get, based on a 30-foot move speed, you can get from one hex to the other is a half day, and then from one hex to another is a full day. So you can go 2 full hexes. Nivakta's Crossing is dead center of that hex, which means you can get 1 hex over and then another hex over to the dead center of that hex, which means at the end of the day, you have not reached Fort Serenko. You can reach Fort Serenko if you want, but here's what would happen. It would be a forced march for an hour in order to get to Fort Serenko.
Can you pop up the map one more time? I'm sorry.
Sure. There you go.
Thank you.
So you'll have to decide, do you want to stop short at doing regular pacing and end up shy of Fort Serenko, or do you want to do a forced march for an hour and hit Fort Serenko?
Can
What
you
do we know
remind
about
me-
Fort Serenko?
Yeah, you did actually learn a little bit of info during the last game. Fort Serenko is basically the furthest outpost that Restov offers. Guards are typically stationed at Fort Serenko, and then from Fort Serenko, they will sometimes go out as far as Oleg's, but that's very rare. Maybe they ride out to Oleg's once or twice a month. Typically, Fort Serenko is just guards going from Fort Serenko to Restov, and from Restov to Fort Serenko, and Fort Serenko to Restov. They basically patrol that road there, keep it safe. Oleg to Oleg's gets a little bit of safety because sometimes the guards go there. Right now, though, what you have learned about Fort Serenko is it is potentially completely abandoned because Restov recalled all guards for the competition, and they have not sent guards back out to deal with Fort Serenko, which means you are approaching Fort Serenko and it's empty, or at least the rumor is that it's empty.
What would the consequences of an hour forced march be?
I just looked it up because I wanted to know, and you have to do a Constitution save equal to DC 10 plus 2 per extra hours, so 12, or take a D6 of non-lethal damage.
No.
To make a fortitude-
It's
No?
a DC plus 2, but that's not that. It's plus 2 for every extra hour that you do a forced march. But
Yeah.
I don't think it counts the first hour, does it? Like, I think the first hour is a DC 10.
I'd be fine with it, believe it or not. Like,
I would honestly prefer to sleep in a fort than in a out in the middle of nowhere. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Fort sounds better.
The moment that Kikafuri says that, everyone give me a sense motive.
Oh, Amiri's gonna want to rough it outside or not. I don't know. Let's see if I'm right. I got a 16.
Yeah, you
got
do.
a 17.
13 for me.
Oh, Storbjorn. Storbjorn gets a 3. Storbjorn might not even be listening to this conversation. Storbjorn doesn't care. What's really funny about it is that I
He's the
think
one who said it.
yeah, he's the one who's speaking, and what happens next is something he doesn't even recognize or care about. But the rest of you pick up on this. Amiri will the moment she hears you talking about this, maybe during a forced march to get there in time, she like puts on a brave face and she's like, I can force march. A forced march doesn't scare me either. I can do a forced march. Now I don't think that in the game world they actually call this a forced march. I don't know what people call it in the real world. Just like, let's hustle, let's hurry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's keep going a little bit past sunset. We think we can make it. I don't know what the actual phrasing is, but whatever you guys are saying to each other, when Amiri hears you talking about this, she's like, I'm good too. I'm good. I can do it. I can keep up. And for everybody who got the 13 or higher, you totally pick up on her being defensive where she was not accused. Like nobody was saying she couldn't, but she's protesting anyway.
I'll be like, girl, I bet you can.
Yeah, she'll take that and yeah, I can. Her people that are with her just sort of like, oh, yeah, all right, okay.
If anyone gets like really tired, I have a question actually. Since my movement speed is higher than 30,
Mhm.
am I able to make go farther out the forced march, or is it the amount of time? I think it's the
Yeah,
amount of time.
it's the amount of time. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not the distance; it's the time.
We're also going slower because we have slower people in,
that's
in the
true.
group.
Yeah. Well, so it sounds like you do want to do the forced march. If that's true, let's have everybody give me that check, and let's
Okay.
see how it goes.
Was it con or fortitude?
I think it actually. Oh, you know what? It does say Constitution, doesn't it? 1 second. I kind of just like that more. I didn't realize.
Normal day of walking, you can do 8 hours. The rest of daylight time is spent making and breaking camp, resting and eating. Character can walk for more than 8 hours by doing a forced march. For each hour beyond 8, you do a constitution check, DC 10.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yay, we all made it. We got
I
an
rolled an
11,
11.
a 14, a 20.
I rolled 20.
Go for our new expert. How do you say your character's name? Dalius?
Dalus.
Dalus.
Yeah.
So the worst roll that you guys got was an 11. And I'm saying that the first roll is 10. The next roll out for the second hour would be 12. The next roll for the third hour would be 14, and so on. This is only 1 hour of forced march. It means the DC is only 10. You all got 11 or higher. You all make it. I'm not going to roll for Amiri and her crew. Instead, we are going to just assume, we're going to hand wave it, assume Amiri did great because Amiri is Amiri. We'll assume the rest of her crew actually didn't. But it mostly doesn't matter because your first hour of forced march does a D6 of non-lethal damage. All the people that she has with her can take that even if they take max damage. Then when they sleep overnight, that is going to go away immediately. They don't need to do any magic to cure it. So all of them are miserable and tired from doing a little extra work, but none of it matters.
But like, again, we just, as part of the forced march, just like, remember, we're doing this because we get to sleep in a fort rather than out in the open.
Yeah.
It's better, right?
True.
There might be a cot for you instead of sleeping on the rocky ground, right? Right.
As Storbjorn is kind of trying to rally the troops, Dalus is going to be not really, he's going to be side-eyeing Emery, but not like in a kind of challenging way. It's more of, that was a remarkably insecure response to a question that wasn't really posed. So he's just wondering what's going on there, but he's not going to voice it in any way.
You don't voice it, you just give her a look.
Yeah.
All right, fair. So throughout,
if he
Trying to prove herself.
If he voices it, she's gonna take it, might get into a physical fight.
Yeah,
he's
he
not
might try to
he's not
punch
Don't
you.
say that.
Yeah, I mean, if she's getting that all bent out of shape at a question not even posed, when it's directly pointed at her and mentioned, she's gonna punch you.
Yep. So as you guys move along throughout the day, it is a little bit windy. You are happy if you do have a cold weather outfit, but there's no penalty. And as you go into a forced march in the evening, you're just fine. All of you get through that forced march just great. The people who don't get through it, like I said, it doesn't really matter. They'll be fine. But on your approach, I'm going to give you... Oh, wait. I need to show this to players. There you go. This is kind of a crappy image, but it's kind of an idea of the fort. It's a wood-based fort, and it's intended to, be like a way station or a waypoint for the guards. And let me move you onto a new map.
Okay, while we get stuff set up, I'm going to refill my water real fast. I'll be right back.
Okay. You're here with Amiri and a bunch of other people. We're not going to put them on the map. Hopefully they don't factor into this. If we need them, we'll grab them. Just assume that they're with you, hanging out in the back, watching what you do. Let's separate you a little bit so we can read your names. So let's see. We have Dalus, Zephyros, Storbjorn. Okay, everybody's there. Everybody's looking great. Now that I see your tokens and everything looks good, you are standing in front of a fort. There are wooden spikes as barricades to keep people out. The doors to the fort are shut, and no one is in any of the towers saying anything to you about anything.
Yeah. Any sign of inhabitants? Smoke from a fire, like chimneys or whatever. Light, sounds.
Give me a perception check.
Yep.
Is that for everyone or just?
Anyone who wants to do what Zankt is doing.
Everyone wants to do what Zankt is doing.
I mean, Zankt is pretty cool.
All right, Zankt.
I do like the idea of doing some perception checks.
Rolled a
I'll do
14.
one as well.
Good.
Got a 15.
14 and 15, middle of the road, not bad.
Also 14.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so the three of you are looking around and trying to see if there's any signs of life here, and you don't think you see any note of life. Oh wait, did Storbjorn do it? Did, with a 16. So you're all hovering around the same spot. And as you look up, you see no smoke, no light. I will give you some small advantage, and that is because you did the forced march, you're approaching this like just after the sun is set or as the sun is setting. It's a little bit, you want to end your march before the sun goes down so you have time to set up a camp. You pushed it on for an hour, so as you approach, it is actually getting dark, which gives you good vantage to see if there is light. And you don't see anything. In fact, starting to feel like the only light source that's going to exist around here is going to be you guys. So maybe that should be the first question is, do any of you have light sources?
I can do dancing lights once a day, but it doesn't last a terribly long time.
Being a half
I have dark vision.
Yeah, being a half orc, I was just like, the need for light is okay, I guess.
I do have a lantern I can use if I need to.
You have oil for the lantern?
I think so. Let me look. I have a bullseye lantern.
Let me look at my senses here.
Another question for you, OMF.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Looks like, based off of the map, the fort is alongside a river. Is that correct? Or some body of water?
Yes, I believe if we look at the map, I think this is the last point where the river touches. Let me just pull that map up again. Yeah. Yeah, Fort Serenko is right along the edge of the same river you have been following along, but the river is about to turn away from the road, or the road turns away from the river.
My question is the river at kind of the same level, or is there a cliff there? How far down below is the river? Like what I expect there to be a dock there is what I'm getting at.
That's a great question. I hadn't really anticipated any work with the river, so I hadn't really thought about it. I'm going to say it's going to be very similar to what we saw with Nivakta's Crossing, which is Nivakta's Crossing. If you remember the image of it, in fact, we could probably pull it up. It's sort of like on a little cliff, but it's barely a cliff. Like it's a baby cliff.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, in which there's a good example. There is a dock. So.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just have, if the door is locked or barricaded, why don't we just have our flying companion fly over it and open it from the inside?
Is it locked?
Nobody's tested.
All right.
Can we knock maybe?
Who's doing the knocking?
I volunteer.
Go for it.
Oh, okay.
If it explodes, I'll be sad. Right.
It does not explode, but I would like everyone except for Shadow's character to give me a perception check.
Which one is this? Has got to be the door, right? I did go up to the front door.
Yep.
11.
17.
Okay. The only one that gets it is the 17. That's Zephyros.
And I have dark vision if it matters, 60 feet.
Excellent. And it sounds like our little flying person also has held up a bullseye lantern. A bullseye lantern means it doesn't shine all around, but it means there's a little spotlight aiming somewhere. And so we can assume there's a little spotlight on the door as well right now if the small character who's flying is holding that lantern. But what you note is this character is not banging loudly. So you with the 17, Zank, you're going to be like, I don't think anybody heard that. Everybody else thinks she just knocked and nobody's responding.
I'll wait like a good 10, 20 seconds, and then I'll crack the thing and be like, hello.
I won't wait that long. I will open the door.
Okay. So she's waiting, and as she starts to say hello, well, all of a sudden you cut her off because you walk right up and you open that door. And it doesn't open. It looks like it is in fact locked, but it's not locked like a normal lock. You don't see a lock on the outside of it. It looks like somehow it's barricaded from the inside. How would the
Barricaded.
last
Okay.
person leave? You know what I mean? Like if it's got
Right.
like some kind
Lovely.
of arm in place
Yeah.
or something.
While I'm not very wise, I'm not unintelligent. I will point out that it must be, since I don't see a lock here, it's probably barricaded, which means somebody had to either be inside or fly outside, or
Lovely.
maybe went out the dock and the back. Maybe we can check that there.
Well, how high is the wall again?
Yeah, let's find out. I believe the wall is 15 feet.
Oh, you could climb that if you were in trouble. Maybe. Depending on how cool the wall is. If it's made of wood, it feels...
You know what? I just remembered. I know how tall the wall is for Oleg's. I don't know how tall the wall is for Fort Serenko because it's never been stated in the module. So I am just going to say 15 feet. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Let's not split the party.
okay, cool. I won't do it. I'll no investigating over the wall then.
I mean, you're free to do whatever you want, but
I'm gonna take a peek. I'm feeling adventurous. It's the end of the day. I can cast invisibility once a day as a spell. Like it'll last for 3 minutes, so I'll cast invisibility on myself, and then like take a little peek over the wall.
Okay. If you take a peek over the wall, I'm going to need to show you what is visible. So you see a tower in the northwest. There are also some sort of like blacked out parts of towers that I'm pinging on the left and right of you. And then there is a building in the center that is blacked out because you need to get inside that to see what's in there. I believe that building in the center and the tower in the northwest go up multiple stories. So if the main structure has a first floor that's 10 feet tall, that means that the buildings, the two main structures go up 20 and then 30 feet up so that they're raised up so they can look out over the tower or look out over the walls. So that's what you see. And there is a little bit of fire and smoke showing on the map. That's actually not, there's no fire and smoke. This place
I
is
see a
fireless,
barricade?
smokeless.
Sense.
Yeah, if you look over the fence, you're going to see that there is a massive arm on the other side of the door that has been lowered into place and is now blockading the door.
Well, I try and I'll flutter back down and be like, should I unbarricade it? Do you guys want to go inside? I don't see anyone.
Amiri will shout, "I could just break down the door."
That seems rude. I'll get the bar. I'll fly back over and then try and lift the bar up if I can. I'm not super strong.
Well, this is in fact going to be a strength check, so give me that strength roll.
Lovely. Score or bonus?
Score. 20 total. Very nice. Nicely done. And in fact, a 20 is literally the number you need. That's freaking weird that that's what you got, but you got it. I almost feel like you shouldn't be able to do that while you're flying because I feel like you need leverage or strength or I don't know, something needs to happen there. I don't know how you pull this off. But you do. You do. Maybe you get some leverage somewhere. It is intended to be used by people on the other side, so it's not like they're trying to make it absolutely miserable to do. But it is typically a two-person job, and you will struggle for a moment, and you will pull it off just barely. When you get that arm up, the doors seem like they are well made, and they just kind of freely start swinging a little bit. Like you could easily push them open.
Okay, well, I suppose I'll say, guys, come in.
I open it.
Excellent. The doors are open, and now everyone sees what I've uncovered on the map there. So there you go. Yeah.
Didn't we hear that there weren't going to be a lot of people here anyways because they were all stationed in Restov for the competition?
Right, but that's why it was odd that it was closed from the inside.
That is a bit weird, isn't
And
it?
Speaking of which, I look at the large oak bar or whatever it is, and then I look at Eloria, and I look back at the oak bar, and I look back at Eloria, and then I shake my head and I walk in.
Yep.
Strong fairy. I have very strong wings. Very strong wings.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If there's nobody in here and the only way in or out of this place was barred from the inside.
Mhm.
Who's inside here?
Yeah. So on that note, before we get too far,
Throw out axe.
I'm gonna like signal people to be quiet, and then I'm gonna start checking the ground for tracks.
Yeah, you can give me a perception check. This would be either a take 10 or a roll. And
Is
you
it
don't have to do it.
or is it survival? What is
It's
it?
perception.
Perception.
You don't have to give me a roll per 10 feet or whatever. Just give me one roll, and I will apply it where it matters.
Okay. hold on.
I think I'm gonna pull a potion of mage armor out of my pack. I'm not gonna drink it yet, but that way I'll at least have it in my hand if I don't have to pull it later. You know what I mean?
Makes sense. Storbjorn gets a perception score of -1. So
Wow.
Storbjorn this is not Storbjorn's thing.
24.
I see the ground.
Yeah, you do.
24.
Storbjorn sees almost nothing except, he can walk, but that's about it. Zephyros gets a 24. We apply that around this whole area, and you find no traps on the outside area. However, that 24 is not applying to the inside. You haven't gone in the building yet.
When you say outside or building, are you talking about the inner building or the outer building?
I'll just scribble for you. So all this little walkway here that I'm scribbling on, all that
Is the outside?
Yeah, this is the outside. The inner
Okay.
building I'm talking about is the center building that I
Like
have
the
not
keep.
uncovered yet. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
All right. Dallas is
Um,
going to look at our two big, strong fighters and say, "After you."
Okay. So, OMF, does that mean we've made a circuit around the outside? Yes?
You made a circuit where I drew. If you want to make a
Okay.
circuit that is outside, like
What-
out
no.
here, then you haven't done
What-
that yet.
What I'd like to do, though, is there access to the battlements around the outside? Like, is
It
there a
looks like-
walkway?
It looks like there's stairs on both
Yep.
sides.
Right.
There are stairs. You can go up those stairs and get to the.
My
battlement.
instinct is to check the outers, because I'd hate to be surrounded first.
Sure.
No.
I agree.
All right. So you head up. Now I will note.
Go to this one first.
Yeah. I will note that you did have a little flyer who got up over the gate. So the little flyer has already seen the battlements and didn't see people there. But you can head up there as well. And when you guys head up there, you have the same outcome. You just don't see anybody up there. It looks empty.
Can
Okay.
I
What
peek
about
around
over
this
here?
corner?
We have
All right, I'm being chaotic.
two people at one area and another person at another. So whoever it is down south here,
Never mind.
you can. Oh, they're not down south anymore. Okay. Whoever
let's not
is
let's not split the party.
I'll stop being a little menace. It's fine.
whoever's over here now in the northwest corner. There is a structure there that you can get into. However, it does have a door, and that door appears to be locked.
Conventional lock, or is it barred?
That appears to have some sort of actual keyhole lock to it.
Okay. I happen to have a masterpiece lock
Ooh.
picking dealie, so
Oh, okay.
might as well put it to some use.
Yeah, sure.
What is it? Is it disabled device? What is
Yep.
it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 15.
It's not
Great.
awful.
Is your base skill for disabled device +5, or is it base skills +7? I need to know if I want to take that +2 for masterwork tools and pile it on top.
So that includes the masterwork tools.
Got it.
No, I'm sorry, it doesn't. Well, hold on. It does include it. Sorry,
It does.
I'm not-
Okay.
it does include it.
Okay, so you get a 15. Unfortunately, the 15 is not enough to open this lock.
You can try again, though. It's not like it's a limited resource.
It's true.
It is
I hate to.
19? Okay. Go ahead,
19.
Giga Fury. What do you hate to?
No, never mind. Please resolve this, and
Okay.
if necessary, I'll pipe up again.
Okay. So with a 19, you also don't pull it off.
Dang.
All right. Well, Storbjorn will basically tap you on the shoulder. Sir, I may be able to help with this. And he pulls
Okay.
out this interesting little thing. And it looks like a key. and it's a non-magical piece of equipment called a skeleton key. It gives you a +10 disabled device to open a lock. And basically, it either
Is it a
works or it doesn't.
consumable?
It's not consumable, and it either works or it doesn't. So if this fails, it's a skeleton key that does not work on this lock. But if it does, then I've got a skeleton key that can open this lock.
Okay. So, question for the GM: does that stack on my masterwork tools?
No,
Tools or
this
not?
item is its own unique thing where you get a +10. It doesn't even count your disabled device numbers. It's its own number. It's just a
Yep.
flat +10 no matter what anybody else
I
has.
see. So I get a +10 instead of a +7.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
He's gonna
What?
use it. It's his.
I'm like,
his
it's
key.
my key. I'm going to use it.
Oh, okay. Go for it. Sorry.
Give me that roll.
1 sec. All right.
Probably better not have me
20.
roll. I suck at rolls.
Roll +10. Boom. And there you go.
Hey!
That's how we do it.
27. Damn.
Apparently, your skeleton key works on the door here. And
I'm gonna side eye that guy.
there you go, guys. You now have access. Congratulations. And it is what you see. It is what you see on the map. There are some storage in there, some crates and so on. There is a ladder that goes up. There is another level.
Hmm.
All right. We'll check out. Scan the room first, and if it doesn't look like there's anything else interesting, then I'll go up.
You can give me another perception roll if you're scanning the room for traps, loot, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I want to get
I
into
wanna
this.
21 for
Alas.
me.
Great.
I got an 8.
So, with the 8 and the 14, you guys are just going to note, like, oh, we don't see traps. With the 21, you're going to also be like, oh, I don't see traps. But what I will say is you're going to note that this room has at least one of the crates that's there is a little bit opened up. And you can see that there are some swords in the crate. Technically, if you wanted to pillage from the guards, you think you could get a pile of weaponry that you could resell.
I mean, I assume. Does it all look mundane?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Generic guard gear.
Quickly check the other crates. Confirm the same.
Same idea.
Okay. I'm good.
Cool.
Do we want to check these little cubbies before we go up?
Is that what we just did, or no?
No, these two on the
The little black spots.
just to be completionist and all.
Okay.
So getting up here is no door. You can get up here and just come around. And when you come around, you just see a little bit of extra stuff that is not typically visible. There is a little bit of a rise here, and there's a little bit of extra like fencing, gating, whatever you want to call it. And it looks like the people here can do the equivalent of like murder holes. In other
Little
words,
arrow slits.
right, there's extra room here for them to hide behind and shoot out. So that typically around this, the battlement, the wall, people can shoot over and then crouch to hide. This part here, you can stand fully and you're still hidden, but it's designed to have little holes so that people can see through and work with it. In addition, you're going to note that it looks like there is a release area on the floor to open up a small hole. And that small hole, it looks like, would do things like drop burning oil down on the people that are coming in, like trying to get into the fort, that kind of thing. So it looks like these two little towers are the most defensive areas to sort of repel people who come to the gates, basically.
Okay, cool.
Right.
I'm happy to go up the ladder now.
Okay. Back to the ladder.
Dallas has already gone up the ladder. He didn't go to check out that stuff.
Okay.
The squishy's not waiting for us. I think you're a squishy. Are you a squishy?
I mean, yeah, I'm about to be squishier, assuming I will.
So
Actually
if
get
you
marked.
look to the right, you will see I've uncovered part of the map to the right, and you can put yourselves on this new location to the right. This is you guys up on that second level, and there is no third level to this, I believe. I believe you are at the top. Hold on, let me just double check. I don't think there's anything on that third level. I think the third level is just the same as what you saw before. Yeah, it's the same thing. So as you get up to this level, you're at the highest point, and when you're at this level, you can, in fact, look down on the courtyard, and you see a lot of what you have already seen. So I'll just
Is the
cover that.
middle tower taller than this one?
Yep.
Any new details from this different perspective on either the surrounding area and or the tower in the middle?
Yeah, there's a couple little tidbits for you. From here, you can look down on the water and so on. You'll note that there is no dock. There's no boating available here along the shoreline, and the shoreline is kind of like I said, working very similar to the photo that we saw of Nivakta's crossing, in the sense that there actually is a little like raised area. They built the fort on a little raised area. Having said that, you don't see anything new in terms of maybe an additional entry point or anything else. I will note that you can see the road excellently from here, even though you have you're sort of at the back of the building and the road is at the front of the building. You can see wonderfully. The only thing you can't do well is you can't see the gated area where people would come in and out, because that has a building in the way that's even taller than your building that you're in right now.
This
so you
is
got
like
some
the place where they watch people coming down the road. That makes sense.
Right. And I would note that you can see both directions. You're just working around the big central tower, but that's fine. You can see a ton in both directions.
Can we do maybe another quick little search around? I'm sure it's more of the same boxes, but I don't want to leave it
Go ahead.
unperceived.
Yeah.
Although I'm leaving it unperceived anyway with a frickin' 5. Good lord.
Yeah. A 5 doesn't get you much. A 7 doesn't get you much. A 16 gets you what you need. So as you look around, you're like, the three of you are like, well, we're not getting hit by traps. I guess we're okay. But the one that got the 16, that's Zephyros. That's Zankt character. Zankt, you note the same thing, that there are some crates here, and it looks like they are not tightly covered and nailed shut. You don't have to get a crowbar to get at these crates. They're potentially sitting here as storage for easy access, and you can see one of the crates is filled with torches. You don't know what's in the other crates, but if this is clear, this is like all the typical things a guard station would need to guardify. This is what you're encountering. Some low level gear, torches, maybe some other stuff in other crates. Same idea.
Okay, well, on to the next covered area, I suppose.
Want to tackle the central place now?
Yeah, I don't see. How do we get in? Is that this over here, or
the area that I'm pinging?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That area that is surrounded by two braziers, two little potentially. There are two little like stands here that you could light with fire, and they would light the entry area here. So, what I'm pinging is your entry.
I want to put my hand near the braziers, and because you said they're not on fire, but is there like any warmth in them at all? Like maybe they've been burned semi? No. In
fact, give me another perception check.
Another perception check to fail. Let's see. Hey, 18. I rolled well.
As you get close to just see if there's any warmth coming off of it, you note something interesting, and that is these braziers do have a bunch of wood in them that would be used for burning. And it looks like they are ready to go. So whoever left this place, they went around and did their chores, and they got everything ready for the next time people were going to come in and work with the place. So everything's set up and ready to be used. However, you note they're not going to be able to use it. And the reason is there's a little pool of water in each of these. So the wood is all wet. It's soaked.
Did it rain? Did it rain the last couple days?
No, but you did have a giant snowfall 3 days ago.
Oh, yeah, and then the snow melted. I guess that would make sense. That would suggest no one's been here since the snowfall to clean out the braziers, wouldn't it?
Then who barred the door? I don't think
if they cared about the braziers.
Yeah,
I think we're looking at somebody who found an empty fort and decided, hey, can stay here.
I'm sorry, did you guys check the door? Is it also locked?
We haven't checked the door yet. I did a perception check to see if there was any warmth coming from the braziers, like maybe they left recently. But in fact, there's like water from the melted snow, so I'm thinking no one's been here in a couple days, or at least they haven't fiddled. Like there haven't been guards doing like upkeeping everything in here.
Is there a visible?
You might be asking yourself, why do I have such a big dumb grin on my face on the video feed? Well, remember this from just an hour ago? Right now, though, what you have learned about Fort Serenko is it is potentially completely abandoned because Restov recalled all guards for the competition. Yeah.
Is there a visible lock, or does it look like it might be a barred situation?
This one looks very similar to the door on the tower. There is actually a keyhole lock.
Do we want to try the
Okay.
skeleton key again? See if it
I
works?
want to check it first.
Oh yeah, that's probably smart.
What are
Is
you
that
checking for?
perception? For anything that's not look like a lock.
Okay, so like a bug.
Or
Excellent.
a trap or something.
Oh, or a trap?
Traps.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. Give me a perception check.
18.
All right. With an 18, you feel like this door is untrapped. Now, of course, the trap could be DC 15, 20, 25, 30, so you may not have seen it. But with your 18, you think it's non-trapped.
Okay. I look at Stormbjorn and I'm like, would you like to try your key on this one?
I mean, sure, I can give it a shot.
Go for it. Oh.
Nice. 26. What a useful key.
Really is.
It looks like your
Really
key might have
is.
been made for this fort because it just keeps working. The door just pops open. You're free to go in if you'd like.
Yeah, I
Guess
mean,
I'll
I just
pop in.
figured having this on hand is good, just in
How much
case.
does that cost, by the way?
I if I recall correctly, it was 80 gold.
It's not that
for
much.
a non-magical sort of skeleton key that just, and if it works, great, and if it doesn't, then it never works.
Better than 50 gold for 2 plus 2.
Yeah, but like you can do your disable device as many times as until you can get it picked open. Mine is if it works or it doesn't, and it really doesn't.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it looks
reroll.
like
Yeah.
Looks like there's a dinner spread for us.
Yes,
You can
it
also-
does look like that. However,
Yeah,
this
you can
place
also
is
disable traps.
this place is currently unoccupied, so there actually is no spread on the table. That's just the artwork from the map. But
Well, let's do another little search around. That kind of looks like maps, maybe? I don't know what
It
is.
is.
What's on
Yep.
the table.
Yeah. Let's
That's
look at
useful.
yeah, give me perception checks.
I'll start us out with an 8.
Awesome.
that. 15.
Okay, and you said perception check, so blah 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 blah. blah.
Another 8.
Hey,
All right.
totally wasted that 20.
I love this so much. So Storbjorn is terrible at perception, has a -2 to perception, but just rolled a natural 20 on a 20-sided die, which means after you apply a -2 to that, they get an 18 total. But that is basically the best success that Storbjorn could possibly do. And it's maybe fitting. Storbjorn, what is your character hoping to be once you've got some PC levels? What kind of character are you looking for?
I'm gonna be a skald. So
A Scald. That is so perfect.
yeah,
Because
and
go ahead.
skalds are very multiple attribute dependent class. So like in order to have enough strength and enough constitution and enough charisma and enough intelligence and not take any penalties to dex, so that I had my armor class wasn't horse fucked. I had to take a massive penalty to my wisdom.
Ouch. Well, in this case, you pull through, my guy, because nobody else did. We've got an 8, an 8, and a 15. And actually, technically, that 15 is doing pretty okay, too. So the 15 and the 18 are going to take it. And what the 15 and the 18 will note, the two of you with 8s, that's Aelioria, that's Shadow's character, and Zephyros, that's Zank's character. You two just sort of look around and you're like, well, this is interesting, but it's just a map, so I don't know what the use is. For the two of you that get the 15, that's Dalius. No, that's not Lias. Dalus and Storbjorn. You two will note that the maps actually reveal something that maybe your characters didn't know. And that is it shows all the patrol routes for the guards that work for Restov. It shows you multiple guard stations like this, especially to the east. You're at the westernmost guard station, but there are other guard stations that run to the east. And so you can see I think there's 4 total, but obviously, as you guys know, everything's shut down. So
he's going to click his tongue and be like, this is very sloppy leaving this out. He's then going to take his journal out. And first of all, does this information look authentic? Like, not that he would be able to tell necessarily, but like
the only way you'd be able to tell authenticity would be if you can do a knowledge geography check, a profession cartographer check, or a profession scribe check. Those are the only 3 that would work here.
Knowledge geography?
23.
23.
22.
22.
Sorry.
22 for geography, absolutely. As you look at the map, you can't authenticate, for example, handwriting that's been scribbled on the map. But what you can authenticate is, damn, this map is pretty damn accurate to the actual borders of Brevoy, the country. And it looks like what you see on the map for the fort you're currently in, sure looks like it's correctly placed and everything. And all of that would lead you to conclude that the other locations are also authentic. And you could certainly just run down the road to the east and start finding these forts if you needed. You don't see any reason why it wouldn't be authentic.
He is going to make a sketch of this map and the patrol routes in his journal, just
Absolutely.
for later.
Sure, of course.
Aloria did not make the cool check and is now bored with the maps and is like, is this a shelf of alcohol perchance?
I believe that it actually is.
Ooh.
Oh, goodness.
I only got a perception check of 7, but maybe I can find a full bottle with that.
I mean, if all you're trying to do is find a full bottle, even a 7 will do it. It's very plainly
Lovely.
obvious. Yes.
Is there a wine? Can I find a full bottle of wine?
Of course.
Or is that asking too much?
No, of course you can do it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lovely. I'll be like, I don't think they'll need this one.
I'm gonna go check upstairs, so I'll head up
Sure.
here.
Absolutely.
While he's writing, wait, did Aloria take a wine?
She
Wait, I don't have sleight of hand, but I'm gonna roll one. Wait, is that a trained skill? I think it is. I don't think I can do a sleight of hand. I did take a bottle of wine, yes.
So you can move yourself. If you're going upstairs, you can move yourself to the middle map now, to the right of where you currently are with your tokens. I have uncovered that middle floor for you. And Zephyros, as you get up there, you can see sleeping quarters.
Hey, wait for me.
If he sees Aloria take the wine, can Dallas kind of identify which wine in this shelf would be the most expensive?
I don't know why you need to see her take it in order to identify that. You could just walk up to the shelf independently, whether you see her take it or not.
It's more just to give, like, if he could identify the most expensive one, he would just tell her to take that one as kind of like friendly advice.
Oh,
if he doesn't see that,
I love it.
You absolutely could, but it would take enough time that you would have to let her move on and then catch up to her and tell her after.
Yeah,
because
in that case, not.
There's enough. It's not even just wine. There are beers and other types of things here, all bottled, and there is enough here to serve some troops for a little while, which means that's a big collection.
Yeah, he probably doesn't care that much.
Sure.
No offense to Aloria. He's known her like a day, maybe.
Yeah.
2 days.
Fair.
Well, so Zephyros was the first one up here. Zephyros was like, done with all the mapping, moving on. Done with the wine, moving on. Zephyros gets up here, sees a bunch of beds. Zephyros stands at the top of the stairs, and eventually you guys come up as well. Anything you want to do?
Just search the room.
Yeah, you can give me perception checks.
By the way, what's Amiri doing during all this?
Amiri is staying downstairs in the food area, and she is rustling around looking for food. She's like, oh, free food. I'll take free food. Of course I'll have free food.
23. Looks like I got a pair of 23s.
I got a 20.
I got a 5.
Okay. So you have a bunch of things happening here, and you can kind of see it on the map. First of all, most of these beds are bunk beds. So where you see one bed, technically that's the top bed and there's another bed underneath it. Technically there are ladders next to each of the beds so you can climb up onto the upper bed. So that's the first thing you see. So this houses more people than it looks. Second thing is you'll note that there is a ladder that appears that is kind of hovering in midair. It's not up against anything, and that is down here in the corner, I believe. So it looks like that would take you to another level if you wanted to go up to the next level. There is another ladder over here that is not up against a bed, but that's just up against storage. There's storage shelves there that you can mess with. And then the next thing you'll note is there are, in fact, like footlockers and trunks all over the place here. Many of them. Your perception's not going to tell you what's inside of them, but your perception will tell you you could have a field day if you wanted to start picking locks.
Yeah, and if it was a video game, I'd be going around to see which ones highlight.
Right.
But I think we're aligned with these people, so...
Yeah, I don't really want to steal their stuff.
Yeah, I will check the one that goes to the storage area and up here in the corner.
Yeah, the ladder that goes up to storage.
Yeah.
So that doesn't go up to a storage area so much as what it is that because there are bunk beds in this room, the floor to ceiling is a little bit high. It's probably about 10 feet. And so they've put storage shelves there that go up all 10 feet. And so you've got product all the way up to 10 feet up. So it's just a big shelving system that's tall. You can climb up the ladder to reach the top shelf. There are boxes on all the shelves, and you can open them all up if you want to.
I mean, just scanning the inventory.
So do open them up. Okay. So as you start opening them up, you realize you have yet again a lot of loot that generic guards would need. It's non-magical. None of this stuff is going to be masterwork. It's just generic supplies provided by Restov. In this one, you're going to find ropes, grappling hooks. You're going to find some backpacks and a bunch of other little things like that.
Okay. The ladder that he just moved towards, is there a trap door above that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Dallas is climbing the ladder to the third floor because might as well.
Sure. All right, let's do it.
Hey, Stormborn.
You open in that.
You
open
found
in
the
that trap
dragon.
door.
Yeah, he'll open the trap door. If it doesn't require strength or something.
It actually requires nothing. It's meant to be opened and closed. It's not. Nothing is barring it. It's not even locked. So, the moment you try, it just swings up and open.
I'm gonna let them fiddle around up there for a moment. I wanted to ask Torbjorn to try his key on one of these footlockers. I don't want to take their stuff, but I want to know, like, are they leaving important things behind that if I was leaving, I would take with me, or did they like run out of here and leave all their stuff behind? That's kind of...
This is an investigative check to try to see if this place is quickly abandoned or abandoned well maintained, essentially.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Give me a... This actually is not a perception check. This is probably a raw wisdom check. So give me a roll that uses your wisdom bonus or penalty.
Oh, that's just 0.
All right, give me a raw d20 roll.
Shit. I'm rolling
Great.
really poorly this game. What a bummer.
So there's something that the viewers and listeners might know. There are some dots you could connect here. In fact, hold on. Let me just... In fact, it's right on the map. There are some dots that I'm pinging that you could connect here to give you an answer to your question. But your character, just like the player, didn't connect those dots. So you have no idea if they left quickly or slowly. In fact, you might say, well, the place, it doesn't look like there's spider webs and cobwebs everywhere, so it's not like it's been abandoned forever. But you just don't see any indication that they were being, I don't know, orderly.
Can you at least tell me, like, what kind of stuff were in the footlockers?
You can unlock each of the footlockers, but it's a disabled device check on each one. They're all locked.
Oh, I was hoping that we could use the fancy key.
You'll need to obviously get that key from Storbjorn, so I hope Storbjorn's cool with it. He's already rolling.
Him, kindly. 17, 25, and 15.
Great. So the first footlocker doesn't open. Second footlocker opens. Third footlocker doesn't open. With the one footlocker that you got open, you see a pair of boots, and that's it. It's mostly an abandoned footlocker, except for this one pair of boots.
Well, maybe I'll spend more time with this in a little bit. I don't want to leave the rest of my party upstairs for too terribly long. I guess I'll be satisfied with what I learned for the moment, which is it ain't shit.
So, we have 3 of you on the upper floor. 4 of you on the upper floor. What you can see is, in fact, some of this is even written on the map. Like you can see it. This is a heavy archery area. There are bows scattered about. There are arrows everywhere. And I don't mean that there are 20 arrows. I mean, the barrels that you see up here are holding hundreds of arrows. Obviously, again, typical guard arrows, nothing masterwork, basically just generically like churned out junk, but it's here. I will also tell you, this gives you a absolutely commanding view of the entire area for miles. You are something like 32 feet up in the air right now. And if any of you have tried, doing a search on Google or something to see like, well, how far can you see if you're raised up off the earth? Even just a single foot of height can let you see quite a bit farther. When you're 32 feet up, you can see for miles. You know who's coming toward this location and who isn't. And speaking of that, could I have all of you give me perception checks?
7 total.
Shorebjorn gets a 10.
Wow, did everybody get very mediocre? We've got a 7 and a
me.
10.
Yeah.
7, 10, 8. Okay, so I'd have no more info for you guys. Okay, great. Dalis, did you roll?
Yeah, he
I got a 12.
Oh, you're the 12.
Thought I said that. Sorry.
Oh, okay. With a 12, you'll notice one thing. Unfortunately, none of you guys really nailed it. I'm going to give you one basic one though. Dalis, as you are standing up there with this beautiful view of everything, off in the distance, you can very easily see a campfire just off of the main road. Don't forget, it is now past sunset. So as you're standing up here, you're basically in the dark, which means as you look out on the road and it leads away from this location, you can see there are people that, for example, maybe they did an 8-hour walk, like a full day walk, just like you guys did, but they weren't willing to do the 1-hour forced march to get here. So they're like an hour shy of being here, which should mean they're, what is that? That's, they're about 3 miles out, like back behind where you came from. But that's all you got.
We can't freaking find anybody here. It was barred from the inside, which is really disconcerting. I don't know if I
Yeah,
want to
I'm wondering,
here.
did we just get played by OMF or did we miss something?
If we do sleep here, we need to like lock the doors and post guards.
Yeah,
I
I
almost
agree.
wish we hadn't full marched here now.
Could be
Or forced
Faye.
marched, whatever.
Damn Oglins.
Hey,
I mean, present company excluded, but I've got, a little bit of experience with that.
I
And they
wouldn't
like to play
exclude her.
tricks. They think it's funny and it's potentially is deadly for us mortals
that's fair.
when they play tricks.
Well, are there any signs of foul play in the fort now that we've seen it all?
I would say a foul play check would be another perception check. So why don't you all give me another perception check?
Okay, why don't we do something smart this time? Who has the best bonus, and then we can all assist. That way we can stop being idiots.
Oh, hey. So for wait, before you say anything, I just want to mention this for the viewers, because some people may not be familiar with what you're doing. There is a process when you're doing skill checks like perception, which gives you something called aid another or aiding a skill check. When you do this, anybody who aids on a skill check, they're basically foregoing their own skill check. They're saying, I'm not going to take a roll. I'm not going to do a skill check, but I am going to help someone else do their skill check. If I make a DC 10, which is relatively easy to do, then I can give that other person a +2. And what's really nice about that is that if everybody does that, you can end up with one person who gets a skyrocketed high result because all these people are working together to aid.
Who wants to? You,
Did you
Zink,
want to
or
take the 10 or do you want me
Let's
to?
just take 10 and aid that to get a 21.
Okay,
Cool.
so Zankt,
I
if
have
we're
to
saying
hit a
that
10,
you're
though.
if we're saying that you're the lead on this, Zankt, because you're at +5 perception.
No, Starbjorn already rolled. Let's just say it's his.
Okay, if Storbjorn already rolled, he doesn't have a 15, he's got a 10. So you're
No,
now
wait.
building off of a 10.
Oh wait, no,
No,
he's
it has
one
to
of the
be-
assisters. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. So Zankt, if you're taking a 10, you get a 15 and you start with a 15 as your base. So now we need to see if everyone else can assist. So everybody give me a perception check to assist.
Shit, I did not assist.
Can
I
you
can't
take
roll for
10
shit.
on our?
Nope.
Can you take 10 on a perception on an assist or no?
Nope.
No.
23.
But then
And
also
then-
Storbjorn.
Okay, so
Didn't-
then the
didn't his
17 becomes a 19.
Right.
Yeah, and I failed, so we didn't even get a 20. Sorry, guys.
There you
Okay.
go. So you get a 19 as you're moving around looking for any sign of like awfulness. And in fact, with a 19, you find it. However, with a 19, there may be a problem with what you found. So I would like everyone to give me a raw wisdom check. This wisdom check is a d20 plus your bonus or penalty.
I got an 8.
I got a 17.
Yeah. So
I got a 10.
So as you go around looking, you're like, what is going on with this fort? We've got to figure it out. You get this 19 and you find that there are a number of places in this fort where there is damage, where there has been combat. But what you note with your 17, everybody else is like, oh, look, there is evidence. There's combat. There's clearly something's going on in here. But with your 17, what you're going to note is all the combat marks that you find are weathered. Nothing is recent.
Huh.
Well, it was a fort, like a military installation.
Oh,
It makes sense
oh.
that they'd been attacked.
I have a
couple times.
question. Can we use the power of NPCs? Amiri and all of her nerds are with her.
They are. What would you like to do with them?
Can we
Eat 'em.
make them pile on with +2s? See if they can help us assist with perception checks.
They can't help with the roll you just did because it's done. But you could do
I
new
know,
stuff
but we
with
could
them.
do a new one.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Same premise, just with extra +2s.
Okay. So you come down to the first floor where they're all hanging out in the food area. And Amiri is, how can I put this? There's potentially a fight happening as you all come back down to the first floor to talk to them all. So
Oh, lovely.
assume the first floor is filled with people. There's Amiri plus her 10 followers. Could I have all of you give me a perception check?
We're so bad at these.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But you got a 21. Somebody just did 21.
14?
Good.
I'm so clueless.
You're good at other things, Torbjorn.
So the 21 is going to win the day. With the 14 and the 5, you guys come down and you're like, oh, they're arguing. Okay. But the 21 heard the argument as you were coming down the stairs. And it is potentially, I don't know, sexism, bullying, something like that. Amiri has been asked by the men accompanying her to cook them a meal. And she's like, I'm the greatest warrior in this group. You cook me the meal. And she gets extremely offended. And so whoever got the 21, Dallas, as you come down the stairs, you don't know what's going to happen here, but you do know why it's happening. You know that Amiri
their
is
asses, Amiri.
currently pissed. So there you go.
All right.
Please, I beg you, Sheriff.
I'll cook.
Who's cooking?
Zank, I'm not going to let you offer to cook right now because you didn't get high enough to know there's a problem. The only person who could act on that info right now is Dallas.
All right. What would Dallas do? First of all, he is absolutely not going to get between Amory and someone she wants to punch. That just sounds like an exercise in being beaten bloody for no reason.
Okay.
And also, he's certainly not going to get it for this guy who's being a douche. But let's see. We want Amory to assist us in looking around. Is that why we came down here?
Yeah, we're trying to get them to give us bonuses on our perception checks to look around.
All right. Dallas is going to how close does the fight look like it's going to happen? Like in the next couple seconds? Next
I don't know that can be predicted.
Okay.
She's not currently mid swing, but they are currently mid argument.
How long will it
All right.
take those of us who didn't make the check to sort of figure out what's going on?
In that case, Dallas is going.
I couldn't predict that either, but let's see what happens with. Let's give Dallas a turn to do something and react, and then we'll forward time 6 seconds or 12 seconds, and then we'll keep going.
He is going to try to distract Amory and say, Amory, you have the best eyes of anyone here. Can you assist us? And then as Amory is turning towards him, he's going to turn to the guy she was arguing with, and he is going to try to intimidate him and say, I suggest you either cook the food or get used to having half a nose.
Okay, so intimidate isn't fast. So if you actually want to intimidate him with a roll, it's going to be a standard action. 1 round would let you potentially demoralize him, which puts him at some -2s for stuff. But it doesn't stop him from doing what he's doing. Or you could spend a minute, 10 rounds talking to him, and that would potentially give you sway over him. You could then sort of boss him around, essentially. Right. The issue is, if you do that, you are basically standing with this dude and talking while your friends are dealing with Amiri. And so you can't do both things. You're either calming Amiri or calming the dude. You can't do both. In that case, he is going to gesture to those who are good talkers. Like, I assume Storbjorn and Eloria are 2 good talkers. And he is going to get them to deal with Amory after he says, essentially, hey, Amory, we need your help. You have the best eyes out of all of us. Something to the effect to flatter her ego, because he did notice she's kind of insecure. And then he will go over to this guy and get him to see sense in his own way. Why don't you give me that intimidate roll? And we're going to assume you're occupied for about a minute with them. And then anybody who wants to deal with Amiri, go ahead and tell me what you're going to do with Amiri.
I want Lily as a familiar.
I know. Lily's so good.
No, Lily's my familiar. You can't have her.
She's such a good cat.
She's a good girl. Oh, Miss
I mean, again,
Lily.
it all comes down to like how much Storbjorn catches as far as what's going down.
So you have heard what Gawain's character, Dallas, just said to you guys. So you at least know that. You know there's an argument, and you know Dallas has just said to deal with Amiri. But so far, that's all you've picked up on, because it's just now happening. So you could wing it from there, but you just know right now, like, Amiri was pissed. You don't know why.
I'll just straight up ask her, hey, girl, what's going on? What's going on? What's the ruckus?
I would like you to give me a diplomacy check, and this is not a diplomacy check to do anything at the moment. It's a secret check that doesn't take any time. So give me that diplomacy just for me to form an opinion at the beginning.
I don't trust my dice at the moment, so I'm just going to take a 10 and get an 18.
18, great. You approach her well. You say, hey, girl, what's going on? And she looks at you and she goes, these losers think I'm their chef. I'm not their chef. I'm the leader of the group. When she says that, Gawain, you're trying to calm down the other dude or intimidate the other dude.
Yes.
The dude stops listening to you for a moment, because he then leans over as Amiri says this, and he says, you're not the leader of the group. And she gets incandescent with rage when he says that. And so
yes, she is, you arrogant little prick.
he looks at all of you and shrugs. He's now like talking over Gawain, who's trying to intimidate him. He looks at all of you and he shrugs and he goes, I want a token just like anybody else. I can lead just as well as anybody else. Okay, so that's what you guys are currently working with. And Geek of Fury, you've heard that. So as you come up to Amiri and start potentially talking, you hear your tiny friend say what's going on, and she complains about the other dudes. Then you hear the other dude that Gawain is trying to run interference on. That dude leans over and talks like a smartass to Amiri. There you go.
What if Amiri abandons these assholes and just joins our party instead? Can that be the next? I want that to happen, please.
You could spend your round diplomacying her to try to convert her into your party. If you'd prefer to do that, you could do that.
No.
Well, outside the assumption that she's going to cook, which, dick move. I think when it comes to the leadership question, they're both being dicks because they're both assuming without consulting each other, like, hey, who's in charge? We haven't done that either, but we're also not assuming anyone else is in charge of anyone else.
Yeah.
In the background, I yell rock, paper, scissors.
So basically,
Mary gets the rock.
sorry, Geek of Fury has to collect his thoughts on exactly what he wants to say.
While you're collecting your thoughts on that, I will deal with a role that has come in. This is Dalus. This is Gawain's character, our new brigand character with the brigand backstory. Dalus has rolled to intimidate. He's now spending a full minute or 10 rounds chatting with this dude. He's sort of pulling the dude he's talking to away from Amiri. As the dude is leaning toward Amiri and smarting off, he's pulling the dude away. He's being like, bro, you're about to get your ass kicked. And Dalus, you said this was an intimidate because you were basically telling him he needs to get his ass in line, essentially. If I remember what you said correctly. You get a 31. Damn. The 31 is the best possible result that you could ever hope to get at this level. That is maximum you can do. It is a natural 20 on the die roll with a plus 11 to the roll for intimidate, because apparently you are the best badass at intimidating ever. That's an incredible roll for level 3. What comes of this, though, is by round 3 or 4 of you in this 10 rounds of talking, he has stopped talking to Amiri, partly because she is now red with rage and he can see she's about to pop. But also because you are explaining to him, like, either Amiri's going to kick your ass or we'll kick your ass, whatever you think you're going to do, Gawain, with that, however you think he's going to get his ass kicked. You're explaining it to him, and it's starting to be obvious to him that he's about to lose because it's potentially multiple people against him now at this point. He's not liking odds the more you talk. Now, I will note that you need to stay out of the conversation with Storbjorn and Aelioria for the next 6, 7, 8 rounds while they determine what they're doing with Amiri, because you're now occupied. But there we go. So, Geek of Fury, you've had a moment to think. Shadow, you've had a moment. What do you two want to do?
Well, I'll let Geek go ahead since he was trying to come up with a thing.
Yeah. So basically, Storbjorn he's gonna he'll gavel the end of his great axe on the floor and just say with a little bit of authority and a little bit of bass in his voice, friends and comrades, it's come to my attention that there is some strife among you. Some of it because there were assumptions made, and some of it because there was no communication. And I think it's probably a better idea that we assign roles and jobs according to talent and ability, not assumptions. So, then the other question is, who is in charge of your group? No communication was made, no negotiations made, and now everyone is assuming like a goddamn ass that they're in charge. So perhaps what you ought to do is negotiate who's in charge, or just do what's best and work together. If we don't work together, when we go into the Stolen Lands, we're all dead men and women. Would you rather be dead or alive is the question I pose to you. So instead of making assumptions and assigning things just because, why don't we discuss our differences, our thoughts, and not make any assumptions and just shove people into boxes and assume your own superiority, like you're the one in charge because I want a coin, I'm a champion, fuck all of you. That's not how leadership works. If that's your attitude, you're the last person that should be in charge.
I feel like I just got a scold by my dad. Good job.
Who the hell here can cook and is actually good at it? Okay. So that way we're not hating ourselves after a meal and instead rubbing our bellies with a smile.
Excellent work. However, give me your roll. Assuming that's diplomacy, I don't know. I guess That could also be an intimidate, maybe. But give me some kind of roll.
It's diplomacy. I'm trying to hearten them a little bit. I'm trying to shame them a tad, but also hearten them. Be like, yeah, we can do this. We want to be alive, right? Right.
All right. Well, give me that roll. And after you do your roll, I've got some info for your backup. I've got some info for Shadow.
Uh-oh.
I mean, if you're assigning roles based on
Wow.
Look at you go.
Wow. Got a 27. Hot damn. Okay. You apparently do well. Shadow.
Hi.
I didn't think it was
I'm
good.
sorry, I was muted.
Yeah, you were.
So to explain the two birds, it's like fuck all your bad attitude. Y'all want to listen to me and be friends.
Fair enough. Okay. I didn't think that Storbjorn was going to do that well. And so I was going to have you need to recover from Storbjorn.
What?
Because
Keep it
that
quiet.
speech is a general speech to everyone listening to hearten them, as Geek of Fury said. But there is a more immediate concern. I'm going to tell you about the more immediate concern, but I'm going to give you some big bonuses to deal with the immediate concern because Geek of Fury did way the hell better than I thought he would. So the situation is not as dire as I thought it would be. But it does still need to be dealt with. And unfortunately, it's up to you. So here's the
okay.
deal. Here's the deal. As you guys come down the stairs, you see Dallas clearly has heard the ruckus. He maybe was first downstairs, and he's already peeled off with one of the dudes, and he's trying to calm him down. You're not sure you even know why he was peeling off to go calm him down. You didn't hear the argument. But then you see him like tell you to like take over, like take care of Amiri. What's going on with Amiri? You talk to her, you ask what's wrong. She kind of gives you a quick explanation while Dallas is mid conversation with the other dude. And then Geek of Fury's character, Storbjorn, starts giving a speech, and he's trying to rouse people and rile them up in a good way, in a positive way. His speech is actually not bad. 27 kind of shuts everybody up. Most people are listening. And that is going to mean you get some bonuses to what you're going to do, because here's the one problem you have. Well, Storbjorn has given a rousing speech and done really well, and it's going to calm things down a little. No one is in Amiri's face. And she is now, especially after the dude shouted more comments at her, she is now fists balled up. And Storbjorn is off talking. He's like, everybody, listen to me. Meanwhile, Amiri has now balled up her fist, and she is now moving toward the dude, and she's just going to punch him. She's just going to start taking him out. You have the ability to maybe stop her, talk her out of it. You can do your own diplomacy check, intimidate her out of it. If you think you're intimidating, bluff her out of it, or just let her go. You could just smile and be like, let's see a fist fight. I mean, it's up to you, but
I'm so tempted to encourage her bad behavior. That just sounds so much more fun.
She
But
didn't hear anything I
I
said? Not anything? Oh.
I'll see something along the lines of, hey, girl, I know, I get it. Some guys are always going to be assholes like that, but we got to rise above. We got to show them that we're better than that. We all need to be friends. We can do it. We'll punch the next asshole you see when we're fighting bad guys on the road. Save it up. Save it up. Save the rage for later.
okay, that might work. Storbjorn's going to do some heavy lifting for you there. I'm not sure that's going to talk her out of it. Give me your diplomacy roll. I'm technically going to give you a -2 because I don't think that's going to do much for Amiri, but we're going to then give you a +6 from Storbjorn, so that'll net you 4 on top of whatever you just got. What did you get?
Well,
oh my
I rolled a
god!
natural 20, so I got a 28.
What is up with you? You know what? I'm acting like there's something weird happening because you guys are doing insanely well, but you're also getting a bunch of 4s and 3s and 8s. So I'm sure this is just the regular randomness of the rolls, but when it counts,
because you're giving us shit we're bad at, and then all of a sudden doing shit we're good at. That's what's wrong.
Okay, so we're in the shit you're good at. You get a 28. -2 would drop you to a 26. +6 would push you up to a 32. Okay, I did math right. 32 is going to be your final result. That's counting a penalty for what you said and a bonus because Storbjorn is too damn good.
What do you want, baby? Come here.
Your diplomacy is
Sorry.
going to calm her down. Now, as I just mentioned, an intimidation takes a minute. It turns out a diplomacy also takes a minute, which means the three of you are calming everyone down for a solid minute. You're all talking. I would like all four of you to give me a perception check.
Ugh, can we do something other than a perception check? I beg of you.
No.
22.
18. Give me 1 second. The cat's begging for the toy to be turned on. Let me do that real fast.
During
I'll still
this
be able to hear you
time,
guys.
I'm obviously not down there, so I'm still on the top floor, and I'm taking the surroundings in.
Oh, if you're not even there, yeah, don't give me the perception check. Okay, so Dalus gets a 22 for perception, Storbjorn gets a 12, and Eloria got an 18. So the 18 and the 22 will win the day. That's Eloria and Dalus. What you two are going to note is it seems like the rest of the group didn't even need a rousing speech from Storbjorn. The rest of the group was just sort of watching these two argue. And what you two will pick up on is that most of the group's actually fine. There's two hotheads, and the two hotheads were about to come to blows. So you have solved the problem through intimidation, a rousing speech with diplomacy, and a private consultation with diplomacy. The three of you do your things. You calm the situation. Everything seems fine at this point. But two of you will also note the problem isn't the group dynamic. The problem is just these two. And there we go. You're good. And now you can ask them to do whatever you want. There is no fight.
Does this guy seem particularly with a 31 after a minute, does this guy seem particularly intimidated by me?
I don't know that you're going to see inside his brain, so I don't know I'm going to give you that info. What I am going to say is the result of what you've done is he's going to obey you. We're going to treat it like you did a really nice diplomacy roll where you can make suggestions to the character and they want to help you out. In his case, he doesn't really want to help you out. He's nervous about you or he's intimidated by you. But it'll get the same action, which is tell him what to do. He'll probably do it.
In that case, when Dalus hears Storbjorn launch into his big, large speech, and I believe at one point he said, would you rather be alive or dead in the Stolen Land or something like that?
You did.
Am I paraphrasing correctly? Dalus, he's not being like in a threatening voice. He's telling him this all in deadly calm. He's going to turn to the guy and say, life isn't short enough, friend. Or as if life isn't short enough. And just to hope the lesson sticks.
All right.
And
good. Anything else you guys want to do down here?
I mean,
Well, I would like to. Go ahead.
No, please.
I'd like to achieve my original goal of seeing if we can get some help with searching this place, perception checks, figure out what's going on.
You can share that idea with them and see who wants to help. Absolutely. When you do, absolutely everyone wants to help. Amiri, especially, she's like, get me out of this kitchen. And she starts wandering off. She's like, I can look at stuff. Let's go look. So
Does
what do you want
anyone
to do?
have a bigger bonus than +5? What's Amiri's bonus? Maybe we aid her.
Let me pull her sheet up. I don't know if Amiri is good or bad.
But also, I did ask a question during my speech, which has not been satisfactorily answered.
Who cooks?
Yeah, who can fucking cook? So we have smiles and full bellies rather than just gotta eat this shit.
So on that note,
I'm not sure my character would know this, but Zephyros is actually a pretty good cook.
Well, actually, that's not quite true. I think I'm not as good of a cook as I think, but you'll find out that out over the adventure. On that note, I yelled down through the trap door, I'm hungry. Anybody find the larder?
Yeah, somebody found it.
I can cook a big stew.
What skill is used for cooking? Just out of curiosity.
Profession cook or something like that.
I've got profession in it.
So it's just plus your wisdom bonus if you don't have any ranks.
I'm only like a skill 5, so that's my point about not being as good. Or 5 or 6.
Hey, if you
6.
take 10 for a 15, that's better than average.
Indeed.
So I'll take 10 on a stew. if I can find the supplies to do that, like a big pot. And
Sorry,
I,
it's
I'm
good
tempted
names.
to say, "Hey, Mary, do you want to cook with me?"
So I now have Amiri's sheet up. Amiri has no cooking skills, but she does have an amazing perception.
Awesome.
Wonderful. Let's
Also,
assist
please do
Amiri.
not say that to her, Zephyros. We don't want to disarm another roll.
Let's see if I manage to assist Amiri with perception or not. I've done it. I assist, and I expect this to take a while because I kind of want to do a sweep of the place. If
Okay.
everyone's cool with that.
It looks like you guys are giving great perception bonuses. We're going to assume that half of her people will make an assist and half won't. That means roughly going to get a plus 10 from all of them. So if she's going to take a 10 and get a 21 just on her own, another plus 10 from her allies who succeed on aiding, that's going to put it at a 31. And then it looks like all of you succeed on aiding. That puts it at 37. Her perception check is a 37 as she takes the whole group around and everybody's crawling through everything. And she's like pointing things out like, look at that, do this, look at this. As you do that, you discover some things about this location that are very interesting, and they may not be what you're looking for. But
Yay!
you're probably gonna get what you're looking for anyway, because it's a 37 total. It's insane. By the way, this is going to take an incredible amount of time. This is not going to be a one-round search. You're doing an extremely detailed search of the whole location at this point.
Oh, yeah.
So this means it was
This took like an hour.
6 or 7 p.m. when you guys broke in. And this is going to be like Shadow just said, like an hour that you guys are wandering around looking at everything. So it's now 8 p.m. by the time this is done. Everybody's going to be very hungry, and Zankt may have already cooked something by the time you're done.
Did you find the gateway to the Underdark?
You do find a gateway. It's not to the Underdark. So you guys are going to have to help me with this. There is a word for when a castle or keep has an area where they basically allow poop, pee, sludge, waste, everything to go out of the castle in a little like river that goes out to the outside sea or whatever. Do any of you know what that's called?
No. Not a moat.
No, but it
on
sounds
the
gross.
edge of my.
I almost want to call it a midden, but I think a midden is like a.
No, you're right.
It is a midden?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
In a castle? Okay, hold on. None of these are the right word. And I don't think midden is the right word either. And I just looked it up and it's not giving me the right word. Unfortunately, I know the right word because it is in Rise of the Rune Lords Module 2, because people use it as an entry and exit, like a secret entry and exit out of a castle in Rise of the Rune Lords 2.
A cesspit?
No, I don't think it's called a cesspit. I think there's a word for it. Midden is the best I've got, but even that isn't it. And when I looked it up, I couldn't find it. But we'll figure it out later. It's fine. I'll superimpose the word on the screen or something. In any case, here's what you guys discover. Northern end of the structure, ground floor, there is underneath the walkway that you guys can see where I'm pinging. This walkway that I'm pinging, underneath there, it isn't solid wall. The walkway hangs overhead. You can technically get under that walkway on the first floor, and you're standing on dirt. And there is, in fact, some kind of waste something. It looks like there are some pots, like chamber pots and some other stuff here. It smells disgusting over here in this northern part. Right. And it looks like there's a little like tiny flow outward out of the castle that goes out to the river. It's basically dry right now, or dry-ish. There was some snowfall, so there has been wet ground, but it looks like anything that was here has flowed out. But with your 37, you discover that this tiny little opening that is basically just an opening for waste has a trap door that can be swung up in case they need to potentially like let out like some large waste. They want to like drop it out into the river or something. You can hurl stuff out into the river from here. If you open this trap door, it sort of like opens upward. And so while the door is pinned up, you can then like start hurling things out. That's kind of the idea. But what that also means is you have found a secret way in and out of the structure. It's a gross way in and out of the structure, and it still requires you to crouch and go at half speed, but it works. That's the first thing you find. The second thing that you find is more confirmation of what you already knew, but now it is extremely well done, especially with Amiri narrating. She finds every bit of damage to the structure, every attack that was made that hit something, everything. She finds every little inch of everything. She even tries dating these things. It looks like this happened 3 months ago. It looks like this happened 30 years ago. And she's just going through the whole process and being like, well, these are very, very new. These are very, very not. She doesn't find anything that's new enough to have happened in the last week, though. Like literally everything is 3 months or 3 years or 30 years. So that's what you get from her massive search.
But didn't they pull the guards in just for recently for this competition?
They were setting up for the competition for a couple weeks, right? Prior to it.
I don't really want to crawl through the poop hole, but maybe I could like fly to the other side and see where it leads out, or just walk around to the other side if somebody wants to come with me to see where it comes out. Maybe we can
course.
see if there's
Just
any
go to the
tracks
river?
there, see if someone has been coming in and out through the poop door.
It's very easy to see. I will show you. Okay, so your door is right where I've marked the X. And when you come to the other side, it literally just is a bunch of gross heading into the river. There you go, marked on the map, exactly as you see it there. So
Oh, it's not even like a path. It's just like okay.
Where I put the X, that's where there's an opening, and the little arrow that you see shows how the waste flows into the river.
Did you say how far down it is to the water?
I didn't, but as I said, it's very similar to what you saw in the image. So I'll just put the image back up for you guys.
Yeah, let me look. Thank you.
There. Same as Nivakta's Crossing. However far down you'd estimate that to be, I would say that's at least
Like 10
the
feet
height
or
of a
something?
human, maybe more. Yeah, it's probably more like an 8-foot drop, probably is what that is.
Okay, I want to do one little investigate and then like come over to the edge and see maybe if like a body was thrown out, like there'd be some blood splatter on the side of the cliff or something. I feel like I'm kind of reaching. But I'll try, and I can't really bring anyone with me for this. God damn it. Okay, at 11. I'm doing another fucking roll, damn it. God damn it. God damn it. I stay there for a little while, and I still suck at this. Yeah, I suck at this.
So you stand there for about 30 seconds. You hover there for about 30 seconds, trying to find bodies, blood, anything. And what you find is getting a little nauseated because it's kind of stinky over here, but that's about it.
Damn it. My only theory is they killed all the remaining couple guards that were in here and threw them out the poop chute. But then I don't know why you wouldn't keep the guard tower for yourself. I don't like this. It's stressing me out.
Have we seen any evidence of blood anywhere?
No.
Not fresh.
No. I think they just figured out a way to barricade the fort after they left it. Not sure what that way would be. Is there like a crane or like some sort of device that can lift the bar?
You don't see such a thing.
I don't know. It's pretty late at this point. It's like 8 p.m. I don't know if we have time to run around and investigate anymore. Why don't we like rest with watches on... There's like a bunch of bunks up here. You said it was like 2 per...
Yep.
Let's see. 2, 4,
Yep.
6, 8,
Let's-
10, 12, 14, 16. That's probably enough for all of us. Why don't we like put guards, like do 2 watches, guards at the stair tops, and we'll do
Let's
sleep
make
with
sure
watches?
those two aren't on guard duty together at the same time.
Yes, also that.
Sounds like a
Agreed.
good plan.
They'll agree to that very easily. They don't want to be on guard duty together. And because you have a whole group of people watching, we don't even have to cover who's going to watch at what time. There'll be plenty of people. Everybody can watch. It's fine. You guys get a meal from Zankt potentially, and then you head to bed. So Zankt, what were you doing while everyone was doing all this stuff?
I was using whatever supplies we find and whipping
Lots.
together whatever I can.
Lots. Do you have a profession cook skill?
Yeah, I called it barbecue, but I was just being silly. Yeah, that's meant to be profession cook.
Give me that roll.
God damn it.
Okay.
I rolled a 1. Yes!
So-
Everyone is sick.
You're absolutely not going to get him sick.
That's too bad.
A natural 1 on a skill check is not an automatic failure. A natural 1 on an attack roll and on a saving throw is an automatic failure. On a skill check, we just add the numbers up and see if you did well. Because if you have a gigantic
I got a
bonus,
7.
it'll still come out okay. In this case, you are 3 below generic lame food.
This
Like-
is why we take 10s.
Like if a 10 is some like blah garbage that sustains you but isn't awesome, like let's say, I don't know, McDonald's. If 10 is McDonald's,
I'll
you're
try
worse
to
than
remember to
McDonald's.
take 10 next time.
Here's what I'll say. Since you're craft barbecue, I will suggest you attempt the barbecue and the hold on. The veggies that are here are old and didn't keep well. Any meats that are here are already smoked, and so whatever you put together is just sort of a unlovely meal. And I have to go get a drink because I'm dying, you guys. Hold on, I'll be right back.
As we're eating, Dalus is going to raise his eyebrows slightly, and then he's going to dryly comment, I thought Storbjorn said we would be assigning tasks on talent.
That was the intent. As he picks up a spoonful and then pours it back in his bowl. Well, it could have been me. I didn't volunteer, so thank you, Zank.
Eloria will be like,
thank you.
Help me
Zephyros.
remember to take a
Interesting
10 next
flavor.
time.
She'll mutter under her breath, I miss Willis cooking.
Okay.
Now in an hour he's gonna have to piss.
Oh my God, I think I'll live. My near death will be edited out.
Oh, don't worry. They spent the time giving me grief about my cooking. Rightfully
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, so you whip something up and you realize whatever you have, the materials aren't that great. And something's
I grabbed the
gone
wrong thing.
bad. And you grabbed the wrong thing. Okay. I'm not going to say that a 7 is so bad that people are vomiting. We'll save that for like 1s and 2s or 0s or negative 1s. Maybe a
But
3.
it's subpar.
Yeah, but this is just not great. Some of you will eat the food and think to yourself, like, maybe I should have just had rations, you know? Having said that, after the meal, you guys can head to bed. And there will be a fight, but a not fight. As everybody is bunking up. Our resident sexist jerk who was telling Amiri she should cook, as he's climbing into his bunk, he will call out to Amiri and he will say, see, I told you should have cooked. And then Amiri will quietly kind of go, yeah, you're probably right. They don't fight. Congratulations, Zankt. You may have made them be friendly by being terrible.
Yep, give them a common enemy.
Oh God. Okay, so you bed down for the night. You do watches. When you all wake up in the morning, you rest, get spells, eat food, do whatever you need to do. I will
Can I
note.
make a big pot of gruel?
You could try to make stuff, but I will note that at
I'll
this
take a
point.
10.
Okay, sure.
Eloria will very cautiously take a little bite.
It's not gonna be bad.
Hey, you're much better at making breakfast.
So I will note at this point, when you come down into the kitchen and you're like, well, let's make some gruel. Not only have Amiri and the other nameless NPC not fought, but they're already like tucked in around one of the tables down there, and they're eating something. And you note that Zank seems to have brought other people together, because now 2 of the other NPCs in the group, they were like, well, I guess we better cook so that we can get something going on here. So there's actually a bunch of food available to you, in addition to whatever gruel you put together and get a DC 16 on.
No, if they've already cooked, I'm not gonna do it.
You don't have to do
That's so fun. I love that. I like how that we have failed forward several times in this game, and I'm here for it.
it. I mean, I potentially it should be realistic. I mean, I think you guys might agree that if a bunch of people in a group start cooking and it's not great, then people who were reluctant to step forward might might shrug and be like, well, you know, I could do a little better than that at least, and then they might step forward. So
I'd like to think that something in my speech may have convinced them.
absolutely.
Maybe.
Apparently it was a speech for the record books. So I mean, almost certainly. You got a 27, right? It was like really good.
27.
Yeah. So you come downstairs, there's already food. Zankt is like, I'm gonna make some gruel. No, I'm not gonna make some gruel. There's already food, people are already eating. The two fighters don't seem to be fighting. And you guys are free to do whatever you'd like.
Well, should we continue on to Oleg's trading post? I mean, it is a bit of a non sequitur, a bit of a mystery why this place was barricaded and there's seemingly no one inside, but I don't think it's a big enough mystery to just derail our mission over. Like,
I kind of agree with you. It's a little weird and I don't like it, but at some point the guards will come back. And we didn't find any dangers in here. It's not like we're leaving them to be ambushed by something evil, at least not as far as we know. So I guess we should just move on.
We didn't find enough.
Speaking of which,
Come on, Lily.
are
Come
we
here.
are we late enough in the morning to where the people who would have camped a few miles down the road would have made their way down? Do they stop by? Is it any of the guards?
No, you would have to like lose an hour of your march time in order to have them catch up to you.
Gotcha.
It sounds like you guys don't want to do anything else here and you're heading out. Do I have that right?
Yeah. What can you remind me? I kind of want to say goodbye to Amiri and figure out because now we're going in separate directions, or is she still coming with us?
No, she's going to go past where you guys are.
Oh, okay. So thank you for reminding me.
She'll go all the way to Oleg's fort and then she'll go right past it.
Okay. In that case, I'd like to keep going together.
She's down. As you guys are leaving, Amiri, like everybody's leaving the fort, you're all heading out, and then Amiri goes, "Oh wait, we should set it back." And so Amiri, like after everybody's out, she pulls the door shut, but she pulls the door shut on herself inside. She's the only one in. And then you hear the the barricade clunk down. And then a minute later, she comes running from around the side of the building and she catches up to you guys.
Did you go through the poop hole?
She says, "Yeah. Aren't you supposed to?"
I don't
okay.
She,
even
like-
have prestidigitate. This is so sad.
She looks at her feet and she goes, I don't think I smell bad. She does smell a little bad, but you know, not a lot.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Amiri, I would have thrown you a rope.
Too late now. It's a new day. You leave Fort Serenko and you can go from the upper corner of this hex up to the middle of the next hex and then over to the middle of the hex. So you guys are going to end up about 2 hexes over if you stay on the road. You'll end up 2 hexes over. I'm going to assume you want to do a regular walk, no forced march, and you just stop where it's good stopping after the end of the day. Am I wrong about that?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so you do it, and on this stretch of the road, it is very different from everything. Like pre-Fort Serenko was lots of people, lots of movement. You'd even see a guard or two, although they didn't get very far. They didn't come all the way out. They didn't come all the way out to Fort Serenko because obviously they got moved in. But now that you're leaving Fort Serenko, you guys are sort of on your own as you head out, and you don't see people coming the other direction. And you spend this day kind of quiet. You move along the road. You might see one other straggler coming in the opposite direction. But for the most part, you're on your own on the road. You can chat, you can talk, you can sit on the wagon, you can just move along. People are ambling. People have broken off into like couples and triples, and they're talking and exchanging stories. It's a pretty mellow trip this day. And no attacks, no monsters, no surprises. Although that's probably to be expected. You are still on Brevoy's roads, and they were heavily patrolled up until, recently. So you end the trip in the second hex, and you can make camp for the day, for the night. And Amiri and her team also make camp, and you'll all hang out unless you got anything else you want to do.
Yeah, can
Not
we get
really.
a hunting party going, and maybe I can get some fresh stuff to work with this time?
Yes, let's talk about it. Let me find this for you. Hold on.
And also, and we don't need to deal with this right now, during the journey at some point, I do want to ask Amiri the story behind her unusually large sword.
Absolutely. Okay, so here we have it. Survival. You can get along in the wild. You move up to half your speed and you get to hunt and forage, so no food or water supplies are needed. If you guys want to do that, you don't have to lose any of your rations, but it means you're moving 1 hex per day instead of 2.
Yeah,
I kind of
maybe.
prefer to rely on rations until we're running low, if that's okay.
Okay.
I will note that Amiri's group are all stocked up and rationed up. They're going to get to their location without needing to hunt even a single day. Every single one of them has a pack full of rations.
And so do we. We're just like, maybe we can make what we have last longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's going to slow us down significantly, then maybe not.
Amiri, as you're having this discussion, Amiri will pipe up and maybe she has some interesting info for you. Or maybe not. Who knows? Amiri sort of shrugs and says, you guys haven't been to Oleg's? He's got piles of rations. There's all sorts of hunters that hang out at Oleg's. You'll find skins galore. You'll find smoked meats galore. We're just going to pick up extra rations there and just keep going. We don't need to hunt. We all have enough to get us to our location, and we can get extra when we get to Oleg's. We'll be fine.
I mean, that works for me.
Well, I think you guys are heading out then. It sounds like you're going to go at regular speed. You end up two hexes over. And everybody should dock a day of rations. In fact, you should probably dock 2 because you're going to do this one more time, and we'll whip through it real quick. So you end the day, second hex over. You make camp. You wake up the next day. You're now going from that, 1 more hex over, and then another hex over. You will not reach Oleg's unless you do another forced march. So you can show up at Oleg's at like 7 p.m.-ish, 7:30 p.m.-ish by a forced march, or you can end like an hour or 2 outside of Oleg's, kind of similar to, you saw a group when you were in Fort Serenko. You saw a group that didn't quite make it to Fort Serenko. You're going to end up like that group. You're going to be just outside of Oleg's by like a few miles.
Have we had anybody come from that direction?
Yes, as I
today?
mentioned on day 3, as you left Fort Serenko and sort of veered up into the left, you had
today?
1 person cross you. And on the new day, you don't have anyone cross you.
Okay. All right.
However, you do have a thing. And that is, this is the day that has moderate rain. So this rain is not enough to make your cold weather outfits do any work for you. Like, there is no skill check needed to get through the rain. But you are going to be soaked to the bone.
Oh, wait. I have a parasol. A parasol. I would like to use it.
If you literally have a parasol on your character sheet, girl.
Yeah, because it's adorable.
All right. Absolutely. Everybody's soaking wet except for the adorable flying critter that's overhead.
Of course I have a parasol.
Sure.
I walk underneath her.
Absolutely. You and everybody else trying. Your big issue for your what this is the 4th day of walking, I think. Your big issue for the 4th day of walking is, do you want to do that forced march to get to Oleg's, or do you want to make camp like a few miles outside of Oleg's?
I'm fine either way.
In this rain? Oof. Only an hour?
Yeah, it's 1 hour of forced march would get you to Oleg's.
Through the rain. Lovely.
Yeah, but then otherwise we camp in the rain.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. What do our buddies think? I'm okay to do another forced march.
I want to
I'm not sure
risk
I
it.
have an opinion.
Again, Amiri is very eager to do whatever you're doing. She's doing it almost combatively, and I don't mean that in a mean way, like she got angry with this other dude. She's very happy with you
Anything
guys.
you can do, I can do better.
Yes.
I can do anything better than you.
Yes.
That's the vibe.
That's the vibe.
Okay. Okay,
You
Amiri.
really
Whatever
need to
floats
calm
your
down.
little boat.
So it sounds like the idea is to do the forced march. If that's the case, give me another one of those Constitution rolls.
And it's just the bonus, right?
Correct. Bonus or penalty?
Hey, 22. Look at me go.
9.
13.
Hey, 16.
Excellent. Dallas, let's give you a roll, my friend.
Silas is tired.
Dallas, you take 4 points of damage. However, this is non-lethal damage. And what that means for you is you will easily heal that overnight if you can just rest. You just basically arrive at Oleg's trading post. You arrive exhausted. This forced march didn't agree with you at all. We're going to treat Amiri the same as we did last time. We're not going to do rolls for them. We're just going to say Amiri arrives bright and cheery and strong, whereas the rest of her group arrives kind of a little bit like Dallas. Like they're worn out from having a forced march. So as everybody arrives, they're just like, ugh. You show up, like I said, after sunset. And so the first thing you're going to note is Oleg's appears to be shut. Like the gate is shut. But unlike last time at Fort Serenko, it's super obvious there are people here because there's clearly light and smoke off in the distance. As you approach, you can see smoke rising up before the sunset. Then when you got there, you're seeing a palisade, which I guess is more of the tree trunk walls, but you can see through the walls in tiny little spots, and there's glow from behind the wall. So Oleg's is obviously clearly like they're getting busy tonight. They're just all locked up. So as you approach, what do you want to do?
Are there any like guards or anything on duty?
You do not see anyone outside of the wall guarding. No. And you do not see, there are in fact towers on the outs, like at the corners of the palisade. You do not see anyone in towers looking down at you.
Hey, is it too late to get in? It's cold and wet out here.
When you shout it, you hear off in the distance, somewhere inside the compound, you hear a voice say, closed for the night, find somewhere else.
Can I, I don't have knowledge. I want to, how much does
I
it
have
cost for
knowledge.
you to be open for us for the night, please?
You're shouting that too?
Yeah.
There is a pause, and then you hear an ow. Oh, you're paying money to open the gate?
I don't want to sleep. I don't want to sleep in the rain.
Ow. Oh, okay, fine. Ow. Yes. Oh, okay. Show me the money before I open the gate. And then the gate will actually creak open a little bit. You realize at this point the gate has been unbarred and there is a person peering through the gate, but he's only opened it like an inch or two so he can look out.
I don't know what an appropriate bribe is. Like
you
5
could-
gold?
You could potentially just force your way in at this point. The gate has been unbarred. You could just overrun it. But assuming you want to be friendly,
We say,
how do I know what an appropriate bribe money is? Like
I
5,
can
10
give you.
gold?
I'm gonna give you the info I give to all my groups when we start doing this kind of stuff, and I have used some purchase matching to figure out roughly how much each of the coins are, and it goes in twos. So a copper piece is worth roughly 2 real world dollars. A silver is worth 20 real world dollars. So a silver is like a $20 bill that people pass around. A gold is roughly $200, and a platinum is roughly $2,000. So think about what would constitute a good bribe in the real world to convince let's say a bed and breakfast owner to let you in after they've shut up for the night. And they're like, we're not letting strangers in right now, and you haven't booked a room. How do you bribe the hell out of a real world person? What would that look like?
2
I would
gold.
not do
we
2
could just
gold.
we could just note that we're going to fill up their inn tonight.
Well, I already said I was giving the money, so I don't mind chucking over 10 gold. That seems like an appropriate bribe.
10 gold.
10 gold. Damn.
That's
I
1,000.
have you guys spent all your motherfucking money, and I saved like 500 gold for myself because I knew I was gonna want money for all this bullshit.
So when you give 10 gold to this person, that's the equivalent of about $2,000.
Yeah.
In the real world, if you had a bed and breakfast owner who was like, I'm not letting you in, and you showed them $2,000 and you said, this is not even me paying for the room, this is me just getting you to let me in, they would flip out. They would be like, I can keep this? Absolutely. Real world, I know a ton of people who would just take $2,000 and be like, absolutely, come in.
That's what I'm saying. If someone said $2,000 to me, I wouldn't even think about it. I'd be like, yes, please stay the night.
Right. So when you give them 10 gold, it's a big, like, meaty, muscly hand that comes out of the door to grab that money. When he sees it's 10 gold, he swings the doors open, and he goes, all of you, come in quickly. I've had trouble with bandits. Bandits would never volunteer money to get the door open. They're greedy people who take everything we've got. Quick, get inside.
I also figured there's a fuck ton of us, so I need to be a little more generous with my bribe.
There is a fuck ton, yeah.
We run in quickly. Or at least I do. You guys can do whatever you want.
Dallas is just going to... Yeah, I assume we're all going in, right?
Yeah.
Dallas is going to what?
For your generosity.
As he goes by whoever this is, he hasn't introduced himself. He's just going to side-eye him and say, aptly noted, in regard to his note about bandits, but he's not going to say anything else.
I don't want to do a forced march and then have to be forced to sleep outside still. That would make me sad.
That would make me irrationally angry. It's like, I force marched so I don't have to sleep in the rain, and then I still have to sleep in the rain.
I would have been fine. I do want to have some encounters so we have some chance to make some money and shit.
You're like, I want to kill some things so we can take their shit.
Right. I don't have any money. I need to start earning it.
So I have put you guys at the door. In fact, what you are seeing currently is a closed door. My viewers can't really see the closed door because I've got some markers on top of the closed door. But essentially, the door is barred. It's a big wooden door. I'm going to give you guys an image of the building. This image is not perfect, but it's a start. Hold on. Let me grab this. Show to players. So this first image is a mock-up based on the map, and it kind of gets some things right about the location and some things wrong. It shows a wagon off to the left. It shows the horse stables off to the left. That's accurate. It shows the tables for eating, Oleg's home, and another building off to the right. That's also accurate. What's inaccurate about it is it seems to have sort of mushed the wagon and the tables, although they're on the left and right. It sort of mushed them toward the center. And if you look on the map, you will see that's not realistic. That's not really how it is on the map. So things need to be more like farther to the right, farther to the left, not mushed into the center. But at least this gives you guys an idea about what you're looking at with Oleg's little fort. It's a tiny little thing. Now, I have another image to show you that is almost exactly the same. But what I did is I copied one of the characters on the image and I pasted him by the wall. So let me show you that.
Oh, so we can see how tall the walls are.
Exactly. So I took one of the dudes and I put him on the right side in front of the wall. That's what you're looking at right now. You can see a dude standing at the wall is only about half the height of the wall. And what that means is it's about roughly a DC 20 or 24, depending on your height, just to jump up and catch the top of the wall and climb over. If you can't jump up and catch the top of the wall, you're not getting in that way. You'd have to either do climb checks, you'd have to stand on top of a horse, stand on top of your friend's shoulders, that kind of thing. Basically, the idea that I want you guys to understand is the wall is difficult to get over, but penetrable. It's not the greatest wall. So you guys see the gates open. You come inside. You are going to meet one person at the gate. Let's pull him out. And let's zoom in on him. I think I do a Shift Z for you guys all to see this. There you go. This is the big burly dude who stands at the wall. He is not young. He's also not, he's not curmudgeonly. He's maybe 38. So he's a little older dude, but he's a burly dude, and he is looking rough. Sees your gold, ushers you in, quickly closes the gates behind you all. So anybody who wants to be in better get in, because the gates be closing.
There's a Disney character on my screen.
A Disney character?
What character's that?
Looks like some guy with a big chin.
Oh, I guess he does look like what is that, Beauty and the Beast? He does look a little bit like the dude from Beauty and the Beast in the sense of having a giant
Gaston?
chin. Yeah. He's an ugly Gaston. Or uglier. Okay, so the door's closed. They leave Zephyros outside because he never came in.
Zephyros,
With the
move yourself
doors
in.
closed, you plus Amiri, it's really crowded. 10 other people come in as well. And at this point, there's concern. The dude introduces himself. He says that he's Oleg, the man himself. Says this is his fort. Says he's very pleased to have you guys here. But his issue is, I think he's got the ability to rent 4 beds. And you are a group of 15.
Damn.
Now he says he's happy to rent all the beds and you guys could just like double up. That would cover 8. He says some of the
I'll
rest of
cuddle
you
with
could
Amiri.
potentially be in stables. He's
I'll pitch a tent somewhere. I'm fine.
Do you have a tent?
I'm absolutely taking a bed.
I bought 2 medium tents for the party before we left, but I'm not carrying them. They're too heavy.
I have a bedroll and shit. I'll pitch that somewhere.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm buying a bed.
Okay, so anybody who's going to be sleeping in a bed, you want to position yourself in the room that I've just uncovered. Those rooms are going to be 5 silvers. 5 silvers for the bed. He notes that the 5 silvers for the bed comes with an evening meal and a breakfast. So you're going to get fed along with that 5 silvers. But yeah.
Already bribed my way in, so I'm sleeping under a roof. Damn it!
Okay, sure.
I'll donate my tent to Zephyros. Here, have this.
Okay. Zephyros has a tent. We can pitch the tent right in this big open area. I'll just put a big square down. There'll probably be a couple tents because the other party's going to have to drop some tents as well. So we'll draw them in like a green color. Let's see.
Might suggest to Amiri and some of the other folks that the stable, after being cleaned, might be a good idea, given that the ground will be less wet underneath the stable's roof.
So you get something like that. I've drawn 3 green squares. So those are some tents that will get thrown down. One of them could be yours. The other 2 would be from the other party. As for the beds in the building, almost everyone in the other party is like, it's fine, we'll sleep in tents. But Amiri and the dude she argues with, the 2 of them are now arguing over the remaining bed. And Shadow's character, you are size small, taking up a medium-sized bed, and this causes another one of Amiri's parties to object. And they're like, why are we giving this small person this giant bed?
I just spent 10 gold to get us in here.
I mean, that might be a compelling argument.
I get a damn bed.
So,
All right.
And these people are cutthroat, selfish. Just like any excuse to fucking shit on other people and
Okay.
get ahead.
Dallas is not going to take this again. He's just going to offer his bed to one of the 2, Amri or the other guy, and he's going to go camp with Zephyros because it's not worth this. He's not getting in between this again.
okay.
2 can snuggle in this wagon. Come on in.
I mean, Shadow's character did give you a tent, one of those green squares that I put down. So you could technically just get one of those tents and then you could be dry. But you can definitely sit in the cart if you want.
Tent is fine.
If you're in a tent, Oleg is not charging you. He's like, nah, you need to be safe behind the walls. You just sleep in tents. For the beds he is charging, that's going to be 5 silvers. So Starbjorn and Aloria dock 5 silvers off your character sheet. And Amiri and her other dude will also dock silvers. The other group's going to be sleeping in these tents. A couple guys are, in fact, going to go into the stable. When they go into the stable, Oleg does try to charge them, but he's charging them way damn less. He's like, if you're going to use the stables, you can. but you're still gonna have to pay a little fee to use that stable. And they're like, well, fine. So there's some swapping where some people are like, I don't want to pay, and they go sleep in a tent. Some people who wanted to sleep in a tent will end up going into the stable, but it eventually works out. Storbjorn and Eloria, the two of you will have Oleg come to you and say, if you want to, before you go to sleep, if you want to come sit out at the large picnic tables, my wife Svetlana is gonna bring out some food for you guys since you paid for it.
I would love that. That would be wonderful.
I'd
I'll
love that.
introduce myself to Oleg. I'll be like, lovely to meet you. I'm Eloria. I appreciate you letting us in a little bit later than you normally would.
Can one pay separately for food?
Absolutely.
Or is it only
Absolutely.
okay,
It's gonna be
how much?
a silver for the night's meal and a silver for a breakfast.
All right. I will dock a silver and join at the fire.
So when you join
Sorry,
at the fire,
Dallas. I'll warm you up later.
when you join them at the fire, you can sit on benches, you hang out. I would note there's squeezing rules apply to these benches. We use a 5-foot square for combat because you're going to be swinging weapons. You need room to swing. When you're sitting at a table, of course, we can all pack in around a table. You only need like a foot of space on either side. So typically we can get 2 people per square sitting on these benches, which means you can see there are 3 squares to each bench. 6 people can sit on that bench comfortably. So that's 12 people per table. They can host up to 24 people at these tables, which means all the people you have brought in tonight can sit here. So a bunch of the other people will see you guys getting served food, and they'll kind of pull a Zephyros and be like, wait, can we pay separately for food? And of course, Oleg is like, yeah, of course. They all start ponying up silvers, and they start sitting down at the tables. I would note that our random NPC who is with, in fact, I've got to now pull a name because this has been going on a bunch. Hold on a second, you
Yeah,
guys.
he needs a name.
So the dude that is causing all this ruckus, the dude that you guys have have been dealing with Amiri, his name is Leofrig. And Leofrig is
Yaffe.
Leofrig. Leofrig is now out at the tables as well, and every single person at the table either got some food because they are renting a bed, or they got some food because they paid a silver. Leofrid is the only guy who does something different. Leofrid gets the food with a silver, then he looks at Oleg or looks at Svetlana since she's serving, and he says, Svetlana, do you have alcohol, like good alcohol? And she sort of chuckles and she goes, no, we're like a trading post, but we do have alcohol. It's just not good. and he goes, great, bring me a lot. And she goes, you want like a full pitcher? And he goes, yeah, I think I could go for a pitcher. And she's like, all right. And so she wanders off and she comes back out and she's got this like big pitcher full of beer, and she gives him a mug. And a couple of guys next to him are like, you going to share that? He's like, no, I'm going to drink that. And then he proceeds to drink heavily.
I'll use this opportunity to be less of an asshole, and I'll pop that bottle of wine I yoinked from the guard tower, and I'll pour it. I think, a bottle of wine's like 4 to 6 glasses or something like that. I'll share my bottle of wine.
When you do that, another person is going to come at you. Let me see if I can find this person. Here she is. Okay. So there is another person. This is a woman. Highlight this one on the sheet as well. There's another person. Her name is Brenna. She's one of the people that's been marching with Amiri.
Brenna.
Oh,
she's a little cutie. Okay.
Brenna, give me a base attack bonus check.
Oh, okay.
D20 plus your BAB.
It's just 1, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
17. I rolled pretty well.
Not bad. So here's what you get from this. In fact, I'm going to give you a chance to make that even a little bit better. Technically, what I should be using is your CMB. Is your CMB better?
My CMB is -1.
It's even worse.
Yes.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
small.
Okay. So you got a 17 with your BAB. You got a 16 once we do your CMB. We'll keep the 17. We shouldn't really have any penalties in this. We should just have the bonuses. Here's what you get as Brenna starts, like, she sits down, she sees you, like, you open this bottle. She reaches into her pack and she's like, I took one too. And she opens it up and she like sits next to you. And I don't know if you've been sitting, you might be hovering at the table. I don't know, but whatever you're doing, she's kind of near you and she's like, I got one too. And she opens it up and she turns to Svetlana and she says, Svetlana, miss, can you bring me a mug? I'm not drinking any of your beer, but I mean, I'll pay you like a copper just to use a mug. And Svetlana's like, yeah, give me the copper. So she gives her a copper. Svetlana brings out a mug. And then this woman, Brenna, just starts, filling up her purchased mug, her rented mug, and she drinks away. Does a little cheers to you. And with your 16, you know something about this woman.
Okay.
She is potentially the most unlikely winner in this group. She is she's out of she's like a fish out of water. She doesn't have good gear. She's clearly won a competition. She's got a token, but she does not have good gear. She's like barely getting through this. She's literally, although she does have a weapon at her side, she has a short sword. She actually doesn't even have any armor on. She's wearing like an explorer's outfit.
I also don't have any armor on.
Yeah. So she's explorer's outfit, backpack, short sword. She doesn't even have a shield. And she looks pretty raggedy. I don't mean in terms of like fighting quality. For all you know, she's level 15. She doesn't present as level 15 though. But what you do know is on the outward appearance, it looks like she doesn't have a lot of money and she couldn't, like, what she's got is like maybe like family hand-me-down or something. So she's not doing that great. And so she sits there kind of merrily drinking with you guys for a little bit. And she's just chatty.
Well, I want to chat with her a little bit. I want to ask her which competition she won and what what inspired her to come out here and do all this. I'm curious now.
Absolutely. And Zank, you said you want to do something too. What was that?
When you're done with Shadow, I wanted to ask Oleg about the bandit troubles that he mentioned.
Oh, that sounds great. Okay, so yeah, let's do Shadow first, and let's do Bandit Troubles. Brenna tells you she did the obstacle course.
Okay.
And she kind of embarrassedly will tell you that she had an advantage over everyone, that she didn't know she had an advantage over them. And that is, she didn't have a lot of gear. She didn't have a lot of fancy stuff. She didn't have any magic. It seemed like a lot of other people in that competition were relying on magic. And when everyone went through that ring, people were like unexpectedly falling and landing in the water, and people were pissed. There's a lot of shouting and complaining. Some people spent a round shaking their fists at the organizers instead of moving on. She had nothing and did not expect to be able to fly or use magic for anything. So she ran forward, dove through that ring, intended to hit that water, did hit that water, swam her little heart out, and then she climbed and she actually pulled it off. In fact, she did a pretty okay job. She points at another dude at the other table. She kind of whispers this to you. She says, you see Gargan over there at the other table? And she kind of giggles and she says to you, well, he's better at things than I am, but I beat him to the finish line. And so she kind of, jokingly, proudly says she finished a little quicker than some others. And so that's what she did. She figured she's pretty nimble. She's just not a big warrior, but she's pretty nimble. And if part of this competition is just, can you run, swim, and jump? She can do that. And so she did.
Well, I hope she stays safe. I don't know if I have a lot I can do for her.
All right. Zank, let's talk about you. You said you wanted to talk to Oleg. Oleg is not out serving. That's Svetlana, but you could ask Svetlana to fetch him if you would like.
Well, no, I mean, I can ask her. So
Sure.
Oleg mentioned that you were having some bandit problems. What's been happening?
She gets maybe, let's see, where are you? You're sitting on this bench here. She's gonna come over and stand right next to you. She stands at the like head of the table talking to you, and she just sort of leans up against the wall of her home, and she says, "Yeah, I've kind of asked Oleg to leave and take me with him. This fort is relatively new usage. It's an older fort. It has it used to be the like one of the guard posts. They abandoned this post, and then Brevi told us we could take it over as a trading fort if we wanted. And Oleg really wanted to leave the city. He doesn't like the city, so he came out here. She says, I actually kind of liked it at first because I'm kind of a get your hands dirty kind of gal, and I didn't mind that we had to like fix it up. It's a it's a location that needs a lot of love and rebuilding, and I didn't mind it. But we've only been here for about 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
The first month was a lot of fixing and not a lot of trading. But when the trappers and the hunters realized the fort was opening up as a trading post, they started to pour in month 2. And then some bandits showed up and basically claimed all of our stock at the end of that second month. And there weren't enough trappers or hunters on the grounds at the time to defend, so we couldn't stop them. They came back the next month, at the end of the month, and took it again. They're due to come back for a third time too. I don't know when exactly, but they're due. And we don't want to lose it a third time. And I've told him, he can't 1v1 or he can't 1v10. So she says, I just want him to go. I want us to go back to the city, but he doesn't like the city. He wants to tough it out. She says, I think he's being really prideful, but also he has put a lot of effort into this place. He's basically shored up the walls really well, and he's rebuilt most of the walkways. He's rebuilt the ladders. He's got the middens working in the back. He's rebuilt some of the homes. He's rebuilt the stables. There's a horse in the stables right now. He can rent that horse out. She says the next thing on his list is to rebuild the ballista or the catapults. But right now they're in severe disrepair. He can't rebuild those very easily or quickly. But it was going to be kind of his project over the next year was, all his spare time was going toward turning this back into an actual working fort. And so she says, maybe he's invested too much. He won't let go. So that's what she tells you.
Interesting.
And a question for you. Would this area be considered part of the area that we're meant to get under control?
Claim.
Got you. Yeah, so I can actually show you. Hold on.
I think
So-
it is, but I just want to confirm.
So this is the writ I just put up in front of you guys. You don't have to reread it, but I'll just give you the summary. Basically, the text here says you're going to go 30 miles to the east of Oleg, 30 miles to the west of Oleg, 60 miles south. You're going to get
So
yourselves
Oleg's like in the middle.
right, middle top. So you're gonna go 30 left, right, 60 down. Gives you basically a 60 mile, 60 by 60 mile area to take out or to take on. Which means Oleg's is kind of at the tip top. Now, technically, Oleg's is inside the border for Brevoy, but just barely. Like probably literally less than half a mile is the border to the edge of Brevoy. So
And where do they have any sense as to where these bandits are coming from?
that's a great question. Does she have any sense? Hold on. Now I have to actually look at the module. You're catching me. You're catching me. Let's see here. Where are my PDFs? Here we go.
If I may say something,
Yeah, go for it.
Oleg and Svetlana and their trading post seem like a lifeline for our party.
That's kind of what I was
We
thinking.
should
This
do
is
what we can to assist them, whether they're inside our borders or not.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I wouldn't mind helping them get things fixed up and killing off the bandits that are plaguing them.
Yeah, I agree. I just wanted to know if we were stepping on anyone else's toes by doing that, like Amiri or the other group.
Okay, so Amiri shouldn't factor in. She's going to be gone. She's going to keep going west in the morning. She's out. But everything I'm reading on the Kingmaker module right now states that you absolutely can use this as a base, even if it's slightly outside, slightly north of the border. Technically, you can't claim Oleg's as yours because it's technically in the border of Brevoy. Your literal writ is suggesting it's like the focus of your land exploration. Like you explore out from Oleg's, which means you absolutely should be using it as a base.
Well, then,
Now,
go ahead.
it's possible that if you do manage to clear area and form a country, it's possible that Restov could be like, okay, well, don't claim Oleg's, but it's also possible that Restov would be like, that Oleg's is your northern point. Do you see what I mean? It's so close to the border.
Yeah, I'm less concerned about border. I just wanted to make sure. Basically, is this kind of our starting point? Sounds like it is. So,
Yeah.
Confer with the rest of the team. I mean, shall we tell them why we're here and offer to help out?
We don't necessarily need to tell them why we're here, but we can offer to help.
I would definitely do that. Say that we're planning on being in the area for a while and would love to have this be a safe place for them and for us if we need it.
I'm going to let the two mouth people take over.
Yeah, I was going to say, Zephyros, you're at the wrong table. So I think what will happen now is, Zephyros, you're going to have to lean over to the other table, call some people over to your side, and do some introductions there, get them talking. Or you go over to their table too. That works too. When you start talking about this, Svetlana is actually she's going to sort of disappear into the house for a moment, and then she'll come back out. She's going to bring Oleg out, and the two of them are just going to sort of stand here at the head because now you're talking about potentially helping them. And Svetlana's like, Oleg, you need to come out and hear this. And Oleg's like, I'm getting ready for bed. She's like, no, you're not going to get ready for bed. You're going to come out. You need to hear this. So he sort of comes out grumpy. It looks like he hastily threw an undershirt on. He's still got his working pants on, though. So he comes out and he sees you guys there, and he says, all right, is something wrong with the meal? What's going on, you guys?
Real fast before I start. So are we or are we not mentioning the writ?
I don't think we should get that far at this point. I mean, Jamandi said not to go flaunting it.
Okay.
So, at this point, we're just traveling adventurers, and we're happy to help out where we can.
In that case, I'll say, we've heard a little bit about the bandit problem you guys have been having, and we're adventurers. We're planning on being nearby for a little while. We'd love to help you out with some of the bandits, make this a safe place for you guys, and also a safe place for us if we need like a place to stop in, as we're adventuring. Could you tell us more about this bandit problem you guys have been having? Maybe like what direction they come from, all that kind of stuff. I'd love it if we could help sort that out for you guys. Maybe help shore up the defenses a little too.
I say what she said, and that's my way of assisting.
Okay. Good. What she said. Excellent. All right. So they will in fact talk to you about this a little bit. First of all, Oleg is going to ask a question. Let me see if I can find this name. He's going to ask you about someone. So he gets really confused as you start saying this stuff to him, and he says, wait, is Keston with you?
I'm not familiar with a Keston.
Knowledge local?
We know.
You definitely can give me a knowledge local.
Well, I take a 10 and get a 10.
Good. You don't know Keston.
Cool.
I take a 10 and get a 17.
Okay. You also don't know Keston. A 13 doesn't know Keston. Dalus with a 27. You know Keston, and it might even play right into your backstory. Dalus, remind me again, your new character has a backstory of being a brigand. However, you kind of reformed, and you said you did something in Restov. What is it you did?
I was a barrister, so I defended people from legal charges. I was a legal expert.
Okay.
Like a lawyer. Okay.
We're
Yeah.
going to say that at least once.
He wears wigs.
We're going to say that at least once during the course of your time doing defenses like that, you had to deal with some guards who had found somebody to prosecute, and you had to deal with that whole prosecution or the defense, whatever you choose. One of those guards was named Keston Garris. And Keston Garris was not the captain of the guard, but also not like a low-level, first-level dude. He was somewhere in there. It's maybe sort of like you guys being second, third level, like been around a little bit, got some experience points, had a little bit of experience and a little bit of age on him. And so you've heard that name before, and you're like, that's a guard in Restov. I know that guy. I've heard of that guy. I had a prosecution that dealt with that guy. Now, I should note, he wasn't in trouble prosecuting. He was a guard who was, having someone prosecute someone. But okay, so there you go. That's what you know.
All right. Dallas, I get the sense he was more of a defense kind of legalist than a prosecutor, given his heel turn. But he is going to kind of not allude to that. He's just going to say, Keston is an acquaintance. Why?
Well, again, Oleg, when you say that, Oleg will say, "So is he with you? I don't know what he looks like." And then he sort of says out loud, he's like, Keston? And he like looks around the tables.
No, he's not here.
I don't think he's with us.
So nobody from the other table like looks up at that. Like nobody goes like, "Yeah, I'm Keston." And for you, Dallas, you don't see Keston here in this location. So when he realizes Keston isn't here, Oleg says, "So you all really are just adventurers, and you're just do-gooders. You just want to help?"
Well, I mean, we'd like this to be a safe place for us as well, but I'd love it if it could be a safe place for you too.
Can Dallas sense motive, Oleg, to see why he brought Keston up? Like, was he suddenly hopeful? Like, what is the vibe he's getting off him?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me a sense motive.
7.
I have no info for you, my guy. But what I will say is Oleg at this point says, "Okay, I would appreciate it." He says, we sent word back to Restov, and we were hoping for some guards to come, basically be an armed force at this fort, and we had received word that potentially Keston was going to assemble a small group and bring them to us. However, he didn't provide a date that he was arriving, and we don't have a date when the bandits show up next. And if they don't match, the bandits show up while we have no guards. So
It's definitely a problem.
yeah, so he looks at you guys and he's like, if you're actually volunteering something here, he says, I mean, if I could just get you to hang around for a few days until the guards show up, that would be wonderful. I don't know timing on anything, but I mean, I kind of thought the guards would be here already. Maybe they should show up tomorrow, the next day. And he says, I don't know what's keeping them, but hopefully they show up soon. And when they do, they can take over. But if you're volunteering, I would love to have people just hanging out here in case something goes wrong.
I'd do that. I've heard
Should
that
at least
there
ask for
are.
room and board.
Go ahead, Sam. What'd you say?
I said we should at least ask for room and board.
You can do that if you would like.
Okay. Will you feed us at least?
I think you will. Now he's going to be very careful and quiet about this because you're literally a group of 15, and there's no way he's feeding 15 people for multiple days.
No.
Well,
just
we're not
the
speaking for them.
Yeah. So he sort of leans in at you, Zephyros, since literally the two of you are standing right next to each other or seated next to each other. He sort of leans into you and he says, "How many people am I feeding? Like, you got a lot of people here."
With us.
4, maybe 5.
So he thinks for a minute. He says,
And this one is like a quarter. I point to I point to Miss Parasol.
"Yeah, Aloria."
She literally eats like a bird.
So
a pixie.
So he sort of thinks for a minute. He goes, "Yeah, I do actually want people around." And then he kind of does like a little wince with his face, like he furrows his brow, and he goes, "All right, so like maybe just 4 of you. I'll give you free room and board for at least a couple days until Keston shows up, if he shows up." And he says, but I don't know how many days it is, and I don't know that I could commit to doing this for weeks on end, but just for a few days we could do it.
Sounds fair to me.
All right.
Great. So at that point, Svetlana is going to look at whoever started this conversation. Was that Aloria or was that Zephyros? I think it was Zephyros.
No, it was Zephyros.
Svetlana is going to do something to you, Zephyros. This is, I believe, a skill that uses the bluff skill. Let me see if I can find this. It's pass hidden messages. Hold on. Let me take a look at this.
She's going to say, like, thank you under her breath or something. I don't know.
Secret messages. You can use bluff to pass hidden messages along to another character without others understanding your true meaning by using innuendo to cloak your actual message. That's not quite what I'm doing because I don't want her to use regular words. She most certainly is not. But she has to do this check. That's very interesting. You don't do this check. Interesting. Okay, let me see if she can do this. Oh, she does! She kicks ass.
Hey!
So Zephyros,
go with her 21.
Zephyros, she stands behind you, she stands behind Oleg a little bit, and it looks like Oleg is going to get up and go back in now. He's in a nightshirt, doesn't want to be out here, so he's like kind of relieved to hear you guys talking about this, and he's like, okay, I think I'm going to go back in. You let Svetlana know if you need anything. And he starts to go back inside, and he as he goes back inside, he says to Svetlana, like, okay, so just these 4, free for these 4. And then he goes back inside. He says that real quiet. I think he does. You get the feeling he doesn't want the other table to hear this. But as he goes back inside, Svetlana just sort of mouths at you, Zephyros, like, thank you. And she goes, so, table, will there be anything else I could get for you?
My only thought, I don't have any like other food requests, but I am curious to know, she mentioned that there were some ballistas or something like that needed to be repaired.
Yes, there's one in each corner of this map. You can take a look. If you zoom out on the map, you'll see, I technically they're not ballistas, they're catapults. You'll see catapults, one in each corner.
I think Oleg
Does
knows
she mind
that
if I take a
those
peek at
require
those?
a team to operate.
I didn't hear that because 2 of you were talking. Let's start with Zank. Zank, you said, does he know that it requires a team to operate those? There are catapults
Preparing
in the game.
them doesn't really do anything for him and his wife. I'm just pointing that out.
There are catapults in Pathfinder that require 1-man, 2-man, or 3-man teams. I don't know that you have diagnosed whether this is a 1-man, 2-man, or 3-man catapult.
All right.
And then Shadow, you said something too. What was that?
Yeah, I was just going to ask her if she minds if I peek at those. Take a little peek at them.
No, help yourself. She does apologize, though. It's not lit up there. But you can take a look. It's very dark now. The sun has gone down. It's getting later, but
that's fine. I'll peek at them in the morning. I have mending, and I was wondering if it was something that could be mended or if it needed like craft skill.
Sure. Okay, yeah. Take a look in the morning. That sounds great.
One last thing, I guess, before we go to sleep, or a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
First, is there any chance that Storbjorn could convince Amiri to switch teams?
Yeah.
I can't tell you if there's any chance. I can only let you work on it and give you a result.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then,
Tell her that she doesn't need to cook if she comes with us.
Right.
we make no assumptions in our group.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then, of course, whenever I'm done, I'm just going to do a perform check to play for coins. And whatever coins I get, I'm going to throw at Oleg and Svetlana for our free room and board.
Sure.
So I'm just going to be like, Amiri, Can I talk to you for a moment?
Yes, you absolutely can. She's definitely interested in talking.
Okay. Seems like you and this other group, you're not getting along too great.
Her only response so far to what you're saying would be, I'm the best at getting along.
Well, yes, but some of the others in the group are they're not getting along too great with you because maybe they're not such. It's not going so well.
Mm.
But I think. Let me know if I'm wrong. That you and our group, we would make an excellent team. I think we would get along famously.
Okay.
I think between my axe and my bellowing voice and your big ass sword, we're gonna make the Stolen Lands our bitch.
Now you're talking.
How you like them apples?
If you're trying to diplomatize her, we'll assume that you and her go back and forth for at least a minute so that you can get that diplomacy check off. But we could base it off of what you just said. Why don't you give me a diplomacy roll?
Let's go, Storbjorn. Come on. I love it.
This is the thing I do. So come on, let's go.
Let's do it.
See, hey, look at that.
Hey, 25. That's pretty damn good.
That is pretty damn good. 25. Really good. So you talk to her for a minute, maybe even two. You guys go back and forth, and she really likes what you're saying. And you have won her over, but you still don't win her over. Here's what I mean by that. Your 25 is absolutely good enough for her to believe everything you're saying. And as you talk, she absolutely looks like she's bought in, and she agrees with you. However, she says that there is something that is, she doesn't know this word. I think the word is inviolate. Say this word for me.
Inviolate.
Inviolate. Inviolate describes something that is kept sacred, pure, completely free from harm, damage, or violation. It often refers to things that are fundamentally respected and must not be altered, infringed upon, or profaned. She has no idea that word exists. She is not smart enough to know that word. However,
one sec. Whoa.
Yeah.
One sec. Maybe I know what it means. Maybe
that's okay. You this would actually be not a linguistics check.
I know what it means, but does Storbjorn know what it means?
It would actually be an intelligence check, just a raw intelligence. It wouldn't be linguistics.
Oh, raw, not.
But it's fine.
I feel like linguistics would really. I feel like it would apply here, but okay.
Yeah. In any case, you can just assume you know it. It's fine. She's not using that word, but she's expressing the concept without knowing the word. And that is,
right.
As you talk, you get a sense from her. In fact, hold on. Before I tell you this, give me a sense motive.
Okay. One of the things I'm not good at.
You can take a 10 if it helps. I don't know if it would.
It wouldn't, because that would give me an 8.
Oh, roll high. Oh, no.
So much worse. No. So much worse. I have no idea what she's put. I am not picking up what she's putting down.
Oh my goodness.
For our viewers, that's a -1.
Yeah.
Dude.
Guys, Storbjorn, or Geek of Fury, just rolled for his character Storbjorn, and he rolled a natural 1 on a d20, but he has a -2, which means the final result for him is a -1, which means he's absolutely blundered interpreting her response. So I was going to say something along the lines of she absolutely respects you. As you talk, her admiration for you grows, and she's going to refuse you, but she's going to do it because she's regretfully having to follow Lady Aldori's orders. But you can't pick up on jack shit. So essentially what your character's got to conclude from all this is you put in the performance of, maybe not a lifetime because you've done 25s multiple times now, you put in a freaking amazing performance. People around her are listening to you, and they're convinced. They're like, well, you could take me. I'm a piece of garbage, but you could take me. But Amiri is just like, no, I'm not picking up what you're putting down. I'm not interested. I'm not going to do it. No. No matter how smooth talking you are. In fact,
Dang.
potentially part of the reason she doesn't want to do it is you're too much of a damn smooth talker. And she wants somebody more martial. Now, having said that, could I get the other 3 players to give me not perceptions, sense motives?
Yeah.
Wow, I also got a nat 1. 6.
I mean, you do better when you get a natural 1. Getting a 6 is way better than a -1 total. So you're doing a little better, but it's still not
I
going to
got
pick
a
anything up.
16. That's okay.
Zephyros got a 5. My
I got a
goodness.
5.
Aelioria, you are a flitty little character, and you're the only one who gets this sense motive. The only thing I could think of is with your 16 is that you have flitted over
I'm eavesdropping.
to eavesdrop a little bit.
That
And
seems correct for my character, actually. A little bit nosy.
if Storbjorn is picking up or sensing that she's basically like, I don't buy what you're selling, and I am absolutely not going with some talky dude. What you pick up on is that she actually 100% buys into what he's saying, and she's super regretful. You can tell she's like kind of almost wistful about it. She's like, ooh, I should go with you guys. She's not saying those words out loud, which is why he's not picking up on it. But you can tell with your sense motive, like she's nodding her head as he's talking, and she's like, but I can't. And he keeps talking. She's like, but no. And he keeps talking, and she's like, but Jamandi. And you can tell, like, Amiri absolutely thinks she should go with him, but she absolutely won't do it because it's inviolate. This is a concept for her that she can't let go of. She was told by the person who will grant her queenhood that she must do a thing for queenhood, and this woman will not mess it up. She's told what to do to become a queen. She's not messing it up.
Dang. I'll try and console Storbjorn a little bit and be like, she just, couldn't disobey Molly? What's her name?
Jamandi Aldori.
Jamandi Aldori. Sorry, Jamandi.
Yeah.
No, I get it. She needed a man who was a little bit rougher around the edges. Not that he
cannon fodder.
and that's hilarious the way I put that, because it's like
You are
he's
rough around
not
the edges.
yeah, he is rough around the edges, and second of all, he's not necessarily flirting with her. He's not like, dude. He's more like, we could be bros.
Yeah.
But
Hey, if we need cannon fodder, we could ask the guy she was arguing with and just use him as a meat shield.
That's funny. That's fine. It's fine. It's Amiri I care about.
She's gonna need all 10 of her minions because they're all useless.
Okay, what a bummer. No Amiri. I kind of thought that might be the case, but
Yeah, I thought that might be the case too.
The module is definitely not going to give you a level 7 barbarian to accompany you on a first level adventure.
I mean,
But
that'd be really cool, though.
it would be really cool.
And the last thing
She can modify herself several times to down level.
She could.
let's see. And then I also said, just after I was done with all that, I was gonna play for the night.
Yeah, give me that roll.
So try to make some money.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little better, not great, but also a terrible roll.
Yeah, I think that gives you the same 1d10. But hold on. Let me just quickly jump over to perform and make sure I'm right about that. Oh no, I'm wrong. Are you going to get less? Yeah, you're going to get less. What do you get with the 13?
Oh,
you
what a
do.
Bummer. That's
Give me a 1d10 roll, but this time instead of earning silvers, you're earning coppers.
Oh. There's not very many people here. That makes sense.
Not very many
fair.
people, and it's already late at night, so you're not going to be able to carry this on for a long time. Oh, but you
So
did get 8 coppers. All right.
Yeah, that means dick, but okay.
Yeah. You could just write it down, or you said you were gonna just hand it over to the family here.
I mean, I'll just hand it over. It's like, look, I'm just doing what I can.
Yeah.
Hand to the coppers.
So as the night's wrapping up, you can see a bunch of people are sort of peeling off and heading into the tents, heading into wherever their beds are, doing whatever it is they're going to do. And eventually Svetlana and Oleg will vanish. When they vanish, forever, whoever is a straggler at the table, they tell you a couple things. They tell you, first of all, if any of you are light sleepers, don't be alarmed if you hear one of us come out and throw a couple like logs onto the fire in the middle of the tables. They just like to keep the fire going at night, even if it's just a little bit of embers, so they don't have to relight in the morning. Second thing is there will be a breakfast in the morning, and they had a word for it in the module. Let me see if I can tell you what it is. Here's what they do. Here's how they describe it. I shouldn't have spent any time looking at this. It's not an interesting description, but they say that you get a filling dinner, which has got to be some kind of good quality stew. And they say you get a rustic breakfast. Whatever the heck that means, that's what you're getting for breakfast. A rustic breakfast.
Well, it's gonna be like bread or potatoes with like some chunk of meat and eggs.
If that's what a rustic breakfast is, absolutely. Actually, it sounds not bad then. Okay. So they're off. Oh, they do say one more thing. They have barred the gate to enter, and they would ask that you do not leave the gate unbarred. So if anybody's going to leave before they're up in the morning, they're like, don't leave unless someone's on the inside and awake who can rebar it. And then they go to bed. You get up in the morning, and they will serve that rustic breakfast. You can enjoy that. And Amiri's group is now sort of like milling about, like they're about to head out. And
All right. Be like, may you slay 1,000 bandits and clasp arms and be like, whatever.
Not bad. She will absolutely take that. You don't need a roll for diplomacy for this because she just likes you talking nice things to her. And so she takes it at face value as always. And she goes, yeah, you guys too. I hope we just like kick ass. I hope it really happens.
Girl is easily pleased.
May no mountain be too tall. May no giant be too great.
I want to give you a second sense motive because she's going to respond to you again in a certain way based on the things you've been saying to her. Let's see if you can finally pick up on something.
I mean, we'll see.
I know.
Is that for Storbjorn specifically?
Yeah, it's just for Storbjorn.
Okay.
No!
Dude!
You get a 2 this time.
You found your kryptonite.
Pick up on anything she's dropping. Everybody else give me a sense motive. We'll see if any of you can pick up on this.
Like so many guys, we just don't understand women.
I was about to say, this is so perfect. It's when you're like flirting so hard with a guy and he's so horrendously oblivious. Well,
Nope, nobody's going to get it.
899. We're all horrendously oblivious.
The 9s are actually not terrible. What she's throwing down is at a Miri level of subtle, which means not subtle.
And yet still not getting it.
Yeah. Storbjorn is not going to get it. I'm going to say the 8, that Zephyros, is not also going to get it. The 9s are kind of technically not getting it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a missed by 1.
Come here, Lily.
You guys know I put in my games, if you attempt to hit a DC of 10, 20, whatever, and you miss it by 1, sometimes I have like a little like a consolation prize. You kind of get a little bit of it. We're going to do that in this case. You're going to miss this by 1. And what I'm going to say is she actually seems to take what Storbjorn says as quite special. And what she responds with is something like, she kind of nods and she pats her sword and she says, I will just cut them mountains down. And the 2 of you that got 9s kind of get the sense she's like, thank you for saying that, warrior. I intend to be as warrior as possible. For the 8, that's Zephyros. You don't really pick up on what she's delivering, but you also don't fail really. She's just a person responding. For Storbjorn, you get it wrong again. She's just like, I'm going to go do this and you're not. So I guess it just doesn't quite hit the same, but
I get the feeling it's sort of like, hey dude, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. patting her sword like, well, the ones of us that are warriors will go do stuff. You know what I mean?
damn.
It's sort of oof. But she really doesn't mean it that way.
Gotta just remain diplomatic.
Yeah. Okay, so there actually was a lot more info there, but those sense motives sucked.
No, Daryl, I'll be decent at sense motive when I turn level 8.
Yeah.
Because my versatile performance, I'll add sense motive to my perform string.
You know, you may get a rematch. You know, she may factor into later modules, so there may be a rematch there. Well, you guys, her team will eventually head off. By the time they're heading off, you don't need to worry about the door being barred or not, because they take a while to go. Like, they mill about. They do eat breakfast, which means Svetlana has already come out. She's serving food. You guys are eating food. You get to talk to them before they go. And by the time they're heading out, it's actually quite a bit into the day. It's not like noon or 2, but it is probably, I would say they leave at like 10 a.m., which is way later than they should leave if they're going to do an 8-hour march. But they seemed to want to linger just a little bit extra. And
food, alcohol, safety. Who doesn't want that?
Right. Go ahead, Zinc. What was that?
While they're breaking camp, and since we're not, I guess we should take a look at those catapults and any other defense options.
I agree.
What I'd like you to do for me is I want you to give me something that would be like an assessment.
Let me see what I got for you. Can I just look at it and see, does it look like it is like old broken wood? Like, can I tell what the problem with it is?
Yeah, you're still going to need to do some kind of check. You know what we're going to do? Let's do a praise skill, because that can be done untrained.
Okay.
So appraise, you can evaluate the monetary value of an object. This is not quite what we're doing, but we'll use it as sort of a structural integrity check. By the way, do you have knowledge engineering?
No, I don't.
So that would work too.
My appraise isn't great. I see that Dayless is over here by me. I think he might be better than than me at that. But I got a 12, which isn't horrendous.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a 12. Dayless, if you're gonna have the day free to do what you want to do, how do you think you want to spend it?
Dayless will, if he can, assist Aloria in possibly repairing the catapults using whatever knowledge he has.
Do you have knowledge engineering skill?
Yes, I do.
Okay, give me a roll for knowledge engineering.
You got it.
Let's go.
Roll the dice. There it is.
Hey, you are smart.
Actually,
Look at you go.
Quite good. Really quite good. That's excellent.
23.
And I'm going to go out on a limb and anticipate that you don't actually have profession siegecraft, correct?
No, I don't.
Thought you didn't, but you just got to.
One of these days, we'll get you somebody who
actually
has that.
Okay, but that's really great. Dayless will spend a little bit of time with Aloria investigating these the catapults. And what you find out is manually they require much time to fix. This is not even a single day job, not even a 2-day job. This is a multi-day job. That's probably per catapult. So if it's like, say, 3-4 days per catapult and you've got 4 of them, it's potentially at least a week to get a couple of them working, and maybe 2 weeks to get them all working. Now, if you have a bunch of people, you could obviously have somebody working on one catapult while somebody works on a different catapult. You could potentially get things going there. But you're going to need people who have good knowledge engineering in order to reassemble these things, and in order to improv some parts and pieces that have deteriorated and wasted away, in order to
no mending,
in order to start restoring them. Now, that's another thing. As you start trying to maybe look at mending, maybe you cast a few times just to see what it does. You realize these things are siege weapons. They are extremely large and powerful. As you can see, they kind of take up diagonally about 15 feet. They are not tiny. And that means your mending needs to do hundreds, potentially thousands of points of mending in order to get all these things back together. And because some of the parts have actually literally deteriorated to the point of disintegration, you may not even be able to get some of these parts back. Now, you could cannibalize from all the different machines, and potentially you could have a catapult done by the end of the day. But that
would be
is
one catapult, right?
That is one catapult, and that is you full bore nonstop mending, and you may have to go past an 8-hour workday. Because, like I said, you may have to do thousands of hit points of healing, and I think a mending only does 1d3. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah. 1d3, so that's 10 to 30 a minute, which would be times 60 would be...
It's even worse than that. The casting
60.
time for mending is 10 minutes, if you've forgotten.
Oh, shoot. Shoot, I was doing as a standard action. Shoot.
No,
10 minutes to do a D3. But I don't know that you're going to be able to do that in a day then.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was afraid of.
Yikes. 10 minutes. You can only do 6 an hour?
Yeah, it's real bad. In that case, what about... I can't tell in the photo... Let me look at the photo again. Do they have like little pointy... I'd like to do maybe like some pointy sticks facing out so it's like harder to climb, that kind of thing.
Oh, you want to assemble barricades on the outside wall? Yeah.
Yeah.
You absolutely could try to do that. Now, one of the problems you're going to have is you're going to need to actually get lumber. All the lumber in this location is currently being used already for the fort itself. So you're going to need to get lumber, and you don't have a big grove of trees nearby. I would note something that the module says about it, though, which could be helpful to you. So hold on, let me get the words for you. Oleg's trading post is located at the southern edge of Rostland and thus Brevoy. To the south, the green line of the Gnarl Marches is only about a mile away. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get south about a mile. That means you're going to cross the border. You're going to get into the Stolen Lands, but you don't need to go deep into the Stolen Lands. You just need to get to that green. And then you're gonna hack down some trees and you're gonna haul them back. There's good news and bad news about that. The good news is you literally have a cart there, and Oleg has a horse, and I believe that
We also have a cart and horse, yeah.
Geeka Fury has a cart and horse. Having said that,
also get some timber to help reinforce or repair / fix all the trebuchet, catapults, whatever. Yeah, those siege things.
Yeah, any extra lumber could be used for them. Absolutely. Here's potentially the main issue. Could anybody who's interested give me a profession engineering or survival check?
I can do survival. I think our engineer left.
Give me that survival.
If I have all my cool bonuses from all the shit I bought, I'm actually pretty good at survival. So here we go.
I'm not that great. 11.
19 though. Okay. So Zephyros is an 11. Aelioria is a 19. As you start assessing this, you realize this is extremely... I mean, the fort looks cramped here with you guys hanging out in the fort. Like, it doesn't look like it's a big, spacious thing. But as you start to add up the numbers here, I mean, check this out, you guys. If I pull across, it's actually ridiculous. Let me see if I can do this.
Like 100 feet across, I thought. I was measuring it earlier.
There you go. I don't know if you can see the line I told the line to linger. So it should be on your screen. It's 135 feet per side. Maybe it might not be the same going north to south. It's 105 north to south, 135 east to west. This is roughly, what is that going to be? It's 480 feet of trees that you need, and they need to be upright, not lengthwise. So if you pull in, that's going to be roughly 480 trees if they're about a foot round.
I think that might take a bit longer than we have.
Right.
In talking to our hosts, how many bandits usually come around roughly?
Great question.
5, 10, 100. Do they come with gigantic elephants with people with arrows on top? What does this look like?
It's a great question. And I believe that there is something here about it. Hold on, let me see here. So the bandits' first visit was 3 months ago. I may have got the timing wrong. I said it was 3 months total from when they arrived. I think it's Oleg arrives 4 months ago and starts setting up the fort. They have their first month okay without bandits. Second month bandits, third month bandits, and now we're into the fourth month and bandits. But the bandits haven't arrived yet for month 4. The bandits' first visit was 3 months ago. They threatened to burn down the trading post and abduct Svetlana for amusement back at their camp if Oleg did not agree to hand over all of the furs and trade goods that they'd accumulated over the past month from hunters and trappers. Since then, the bandits have returned repeatedly. Each time they arrive around breakfast to lunch, and they arrive about a month after their previous arrival. Svetlana and Oleg have learned to have taxes, quote unquote, taxes, ready to go. They hand over goods very quickly. They'll tell you they're trying to not hand over everything so that they can actually survive out here. So they kind of just pile up like a pile of things that the bandits can take. But they're trying to bluff and deceive, and you guys have already seen Svetlana's bluff is only a +2. They're not doing great at it. The bandits seem eager to return to their camp. They know that Svetlana knows the camp, or Oleg knows the camp, is somewhere in what's called the Green Belt, which is just south of you guys. That makes Svetlana thinks that the camp is maybe just like a day's ride away. She's not 100% sure. He tells you, the first time the bandits visited, there were 12 bandits. 10 lower-ranking thugs led by a cloaked man armed with a bow, and a woman who carried 2 small hatchets. The woman did the majority of the talking, and her black sense of humor and the way she smiled when she spoke about what was going to happen to Svetlana if they didn't agree, that freaked out Svetlana a lot.
Not a girl's girl, nasty bitch.
Yes. The woman seemed to be particularly sharp and observant, whereas the man who followed along with her, the dude with the bow, he didn't seem quite at her level. Plus the fact that the woman almost nearly lopped off Oleg's Oleg's right hand with one of her hatchets in a cruel bit of mockery. That convinced Svetlana that the woman was the most dangerous of the bandits.
Yeah, once again, nasty bitch.
Yep. As it was, the woman took Svetlana's wedding ring right off her hand. She tossed it to one of her men as payment for not shortening Oleg's reach. Because she didn't manage to cut his hand off, she took her ring, and she's like, all right, I couldn't have his hand, I'm going to take her ring. She handed it to one of the other bandits.
Okay, so I'd love to try and get that back for her.
Okay.
That's on the to-do list.
Okay. On the second and third visit, they've done 3 visits, so we're on the 4th visit. Okay. This keeps getting longer and longer and more, but here we go. On the second and third visit, only the crude hooded man accompanied some bandits. They suspect the bandits have now let down their guard a little bit because they think that the owners of the trading post are completely cowed. But Svetlana and Oleg are both like, maybe that works in your favor. Maybe they show up with maybe just 2 people or something. They don't know, but they're hopeful. If they do show up.
Would love to capture some of those people for questioning.
That'd be good to question them, yeah.
So I just kind of read you verbatim what's in the module, but to summarize, they've come 3 times. First time with this extremely mean hatchet woman. The next 2 times just with her right-hand man, the bowman came and he was leading the groups. Groups were getting smaller each time. And she thinks that they might have a camp go south about a day's ride. Now, a day's ride is very different from a day's walk. They all approach on horses. So Svetlana thinks maybe a day south is where
I'd also love to get those horses.
Maybe you can get some horses.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound like a sadistic asshole, but part of me wants to take her hand off.
I mean,
Sounds like we'll have to go find her though, Because it sounds like she's not likely to come. But I'm game for that too.
I like the idea of picking off however many if they're not sending their whole band, let's stay. I was thinking maybe we find them before they get here, but if they're only sending part of their bandit group here every time, let's pick off the ones we can, and then maybe
and then go get the rest.
Yeah, like before they start to get suspicious. You know what I mean? We don't want them.
I think that sounds like a great plan. So here are my thoughts, given the description. So we've got a bowman. Was it just one with bows? That's kind of the sub leader.
No, both Svetlana and Oleg will say that all the people approaching do have bows, but most of them were either like on the saddle of the horse, like as part of a pack, or they were carrying them on their back. And it seemed like most of them seemed to be more handy with melee weapons like swords.
Did they come into the outpost to collect their stuff, or were they met outside?
Oh yeah, they come in. They ride in on the horses. They ride in up to the tables. Svetlana and Oleg have the last couple times literally just stacked some gear on top of the table, hoped that they would like ride in, take the gear and ride out like instantly in like a moment. It hasn't worked out for them so far. Each time these dudes ride in, they're like, what else are you hiding? So Oleg and Svetlana have been having a rough time of it.
So in looking at the way this outpost is built, it looks like there is a raised platform that goes around all of it except for the opening, which has a large log over it. Is that a fair interpretation?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what is the height like where you would be stepping relative to the ground?
So okay. So I think I see. You're asking what the running boards around the outer edge are, the battlements. You're asking how high they are. Is that the idea?
Well, yeah, the height that the platform is at.
Right. So the actual wall itself, running the length of things, is 12 feet high, except for the corners, which have these stairs up, and so you can see the cornered areas are an additional 10 feet up. So that would put them at 22 feet. But
that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the actual walkway, in order for you guys to be able to like duck down and not get hit, for the wall, the 12-foot high wall to work, that must mean that the walkway is a little bit below that 12-foot height. Now, you probably don't want it to be only like 1 or 2 feet. You probably want it to be 3 or 4. So my guess would be that the walkway is maybe 8 feet up, 9 feet up off the ground, because that would allow someone standing along the wall to have 3 to 4 feet of wall that they could duck under.
Right.
So
you could stand up, shoot over, duck down.
That sounds like just about the right height to knock somebody off a horse without hurting the horse. I'm just going to point that out. I think that choke point is like where we have our greatest advantage. But I'd love to be able to get them off of their horses without harming the horses, though.
We can do that if I don't mind trying for that. But if I need to heal a horse, I'll heal a horse.
I will note I did have to look up the horse skills for today in case we got far enough along. We didn't get far enough along to actually get to the encounter, but I still have the data here. And I would note that anytime you hurt someone on a horse, you are supposed to do a ride check to not fall off. Unfortunately, it's extremely easy. I believe the ride check is just DC 5. So any person who is like a junk level 1 throwaway dude is probably not going to stay on that horse, but every single other person would stay on that horse. But so you have just basic damage might dismount 1 or 2 dudes just alone.
Since we're dealing with an archer, I do have an idea of like a little bit of a strategy we could use. One of the spells I can have as an adept is Obscuring Mist. We could do something like put in Obscuring Mist like right in either like on top of one of the towers or right in the gateway, and we'll stand like right at the edge and like shoot out. Cause like I've got a longbow. That's like a good 120 feet of shooting those fuckers before they get here.
Right.
One of the things I want to make
horses, it won't be as
So one of the things I want to figure out a way to do, and I don't have an idea yet, but I think our biggest risk here is if they come in and there's an attack or something like that, they could very easily turn around and run away on horses. And so we need to have a way of like
I have some
having a
tanglefoot bags. We could try and chuck the tanglefoot bags at the horses.
would that work with horses?
I don't know why it wouldn't. I mean, the check to break out of it, I think that horses should be extremely good at that. They're a lot stronger. So potentially they could get out of that more easily, but it's definitely an option. I don't know why it wouldn't work. I would also note, I mean, if you're trying to trap them inside, you literally could have people stationed by the doors to pull the doors shut behind them if they ride in.
The doors swing inward, right? Into the keep. They don't swing out.
I actually have them drawn, and I'm gonna make them visible to you guys so you can see what actually happens here. Hold on. Okay, so if you guys are looking at that door right now, you can see how they swing out. They're gonna swing outward, which is kind of a bummer because that means hinges for these things are outside and visible to people who are trying to attack.
Yeah, that seems like a bad design.
Right? However, here's the thing. They are super damn big and heavy with gigantic hinges. They are not the kind of things that you just like walk up to and start attacking. Like you're attacking like a big machinery at that point. So it's not going to happen very easily.
Do they have like a bar to close the door like the last place did?
Yeah. Remember they were telling you guys that don't let anybody out unless they can rebar it.
You're right. I forgot that.
Yeah.
So I do like the idea of trying to like lure them in. Maybe we hide, lure them in, and then close the doors behind them. We could still try and maybe trap them in the obscuring mist or something and fight them from the outside or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
How do we close the door and be able to get in and help fight? I mean, the only person who can do that is you, but then I don't know about closing those doors be that easy for you.
Well, let me try. I'll go ahead and try right now. How hard is it going to be for me to close the doors and put a bar down?
The bars are designed to open and close by normal mortals. So this is actually a strength check, unfortunately, because they are thick, heavy things, but it isn't that miserable. Why don't you give me a strength roll and we'll see if you can open close.
A score or a bonus?
You can use the full score for this one.
I got it.
10.
You need it. Yeah, you actually don't do it with a 10.
What about
okay, I think I have a block and tackle thingy. Let me look.
What about just having ropes that I'm drawing on the thing that go around and then are basically pulled,
yes,
closed,
okay.
And then would that work?
Kind of.
Or even across this way?
Yeah.
If that gives a better angle?
Absolutely gives a better angle, yes. Yeah, the big issue that you're going to have is that you obviously your rope is not going to give you a lovely curve where it can sort of pull like it's going to literally snap taut against the edges of all the things that it's up against, which is going to make it really difficult to pull if you are, if you try to pull from the left to affect the left door, it's going to be hard. If you try to pull on the right to affect the left door, it's going to be a lot easier. So pulling across is going to swing that door shut real hard and fast. Pulling from the same side is going to pull it closed real slow. You're going to struggle.
Yeah. So what about like burying some rope in the ground and tying it to the opposite side and then having two strong, beefy people? So I think that would be me and Stormbjorn.
Right.
And then we're waiting on the inside. And once all the horses come in and we're maybe given a signal by a spotter to close those. And then one of us can run over and clamp down the thing.
Yep.
I mean, that would be a way of preventing the horses. It doesn't do much else besides that.
Yep. I think that potentially works. You just need to have two 50-foot lengths of rope. Does anybody have rope with them?
I do.
You do. Now, do you have two units?
Oleg might.
Oleg might as well.
It's a supply place, right? On the frontier.
Let me take a look. It actually lists out literally every little piece of stock that he has because he's been raided, so he doesn't have a lot. So let me see if I can tell you if he has that. He has 1 unit of 50 feet of rope,
Neat.
which means you guys would need 1 other unit of 50 feet of rope. But it sounds like you do have it.
I have 50 feet of silk rope because I'm weak and wanted the lighter rope.
I see. I mean, that'll make it easier to bury. It's going to be tinier.
Lovely.
Yeah. Well, if you take Oleg's rope, he'll definitely let you use it. He doesn't want you to keep it. He wants to sell it hopefully someday, but he'll let you use it for this. Absolutely. No questions asked. He says you can help yourselves to anything that will help you to win. What
do you guys think?
Oh, go ahead.
I have 100 feet of silk knotted rope.
Oh, make it use that, and so it hides a little easier.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna have to muck up less of the ground for it. So
I made sure that.
But I mean, are you okay with the overall idea?
I mean, it's yeah. I mean, it's better than a bunch of ifs and maybes, and we're taking up too much time and building walls and fixing catapults and.
Yeah, I think that's too timely. I like this idea of like luring them in. Maybe we could even set a trap. I have a bunch of oil and alchemist fire. Maybe they said they've been putting like a little thing out on the table. Why don't we leave like a fake cache or just a cache that we keep afterwards, and then make like a little oil pile near it, and then when they come over we can like chuck an alchemist fire and try and catch them or something.
I mean, I don't know that I'm good enough that I can consistently successfully make alchemist fire, but I do have craft alchemy.
Let's see, what do you need to do for an alchemist fire? DC 20?
You do need to have an alchemy set in order for this to get pulled off, though.
Oh, well then, never mind. We're just
let me see if he has this for you, though. Hold on. He has 2 barrels of drinking water, half full barrel of lantern oil, half full barrel. That's a lot of lantern oil.
I like that.
It's a lot of boom.
Yeah, he's 3 lamps, a dozen candles, a week left of firewood, a hooded lantern, 50 feet of rope, hemp rope, a tent, not one of the ones you guys have been using. He has his own tent that he can offer for sale. He has food. This is cheese, bread, venison that'll last for about 2 weeks. So he can hole up in here for about 2 weeks before he's starved out. He says he also has leather armor, just 1 unit, 1 wooden shield, 2 hand axes, 5 javelins, 1 longbow, 2 dozen arrows, 1 scythe, 2 spears, 2 potions of cure light, a potion of shield of faith +2, 2 vials of antitoxin, 6 torches, 2 weeks of trail rations, a number of animal furs that total about 120 gold. He'll let you use any of those things, but he desperately wants to avoid you guys using the potions if possible, because he can sell those for money. But he would really like to not die. So if you have to use the potions, you have to use the potions.
I have a wild idea.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
The barrel of lantern oil.
Yeah.
Uncork that shit, right?
Right.
And then we move this cart out of the way, and we move what we can of the knot buildings, and we just dump it in the area where the horses will generally show up.
Right.
And somebody with like a lit arrow or an alchemist fire or something, once we've got all the horses in this general area right here where I'm pinging, we dump it in there, torch the whole thing on fire, and then we rain hell on their asses. They're burning, so they're all burning to death. And if they leave the fire, we're hacking them up with our blades. Or people with bows are shooting down on them while they're in the fire. I don't know.
I do quite like that plan. It does probably murder the horses, which Zephyros was trying to save, but it might be a good plan either way.
It would be useful to have the horses, but and I would be concerned about the fire spreading to the buildings. That's a lot of oil.
Yeah, that's true. It's a risk. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah. You could, what's going to happen is, I believe there are rules for like a unit of lantern oil that can be spread out, and I believe each unit of lantern oil will fill a 5-foot square. So we can determine how many units there are in a barrel, although it's probably going to be a lot. And you could then pick 5-foot squares you want it to fill, and you can just simply avoid 5 feet near buildings. You know what I mean? So if you wanted to do, you could do something like you do something like that, right? And then you're 5 feet away from buildings. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? I think you can.
Yeah, we can see it. I kind of like Shadow's idea of a booby trap boom. Like a couple of them get off the horses to go get the quote unquote loot, and it blows up in their face, and that's when we attack.
So if you want to do something like that, Oleg and Svetlana would tell you. In fact, I'm just going to mark it on here. Hold on.
Just so we know for oil, I have it here. A normal unit of oil is 1 pint.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pour a pint of oil on the ground to cover a 5-foot square.
Right.
Provided that the surface is smooth. If lit, the oil burns for 2 rounds, deals 1d3 points of fire damage to each creature in the area.
Right. And you have a half barrel, and I'm just going to look up what a typical like barrel typically has, and then we'll figure out how many pints that is. But I mean, we gotta assume it's a damn lot of pints. Like a barrel should hold many pints. You could potentially coat the entire area. I'll math it out between this game and next, but it's going to be a lot. But I have put an X down on the table. Oleg and Svetlana will tell you that's the table that they use. They pile stuff up on that table, and they hope the guys will take it and go. And that's where you expect to see them go toward.
Do they have any empty barrels?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They have tons of empty barrels. I don't say tons. They have 3.
I don't want to necessarily, blow up one of their tables, but if we put like a barrel, say right here, and put the stuff on there, then they, if it blows up, they lose a barrel. That's not that big of a deal.
I see your thinking, and Oleg and Svetlana are down for you trying whatever you want. They're going to defer to you. But they will immediately tell you that if you provide just some gear on top of a barrel, they're going to be so unimpressed, they will just go nuts. You could take all 3 barrels, pile gear up on top of all 3, and maybe that would work. That would be roughly the equivalent of a table's worth.
What?
That makes sense, and maybe they would assume there's stuff in the barrels for them to take as well.
Well, what's more important to them, a table or 3 barrels?
If you mean what does Oleg and Svetlana like, they would suggest using the table to keep things normal for them. However, the moment you start talking about fire everywhere, they're like, "Oh, use the barrels. Use the barrels. Just use all 3."
I don't know.
I mean, Storbjorn will advise that we don't have to do the fire. It's just an idea.
Yeah. I have a bag of marbles I can put on the floor, and they will slip over them if they don't make reflex save. I bought a bag of marbles because I like to put light on them, but I do technically have 2 pounds of marbles.
I would note that that's almost certainly not going to work here, and you know it. It may work a little bit, but here's your issue. That's only going to cover, I believe, a 5-foot square.
I was mostly being silly.
Good.
But yeah.
It won't cover very much. The horses aren't guaranteed to go over it. The horses are larger creatures that may not be bothered by it, and they will simply pound those marbles into the dirt because it's not a hard floor. So they won't roll on them. They'll just get squished.
Too bad.
Yeah. Fire is good. Marbles less good.
What if we catch the marbles on fire? No, I'm just kidding.
Of course, what kind of ride checks are they going to have to make when the horses freak out because they're on top of fire?
That's a good point.
Yeah, we can take a look at that. Let's see here. Stay in saddle is a DC 5. That's when they get hit in combat. Control mount in battle. There it is. Control mount in battle is a DC 20. It's extremely hard to do that.
Unless they're war trained, and then it's like nothing.
Right. You do not need to roll for horses or ponies that are trained for combat. However, if they're not trained for combat, then this is going to be they're going to panic. They will panic.
But here's the question: Does war training or combat training equal I'm in fire and I'm still okay and can just stay here training?
Right. It's a great point, and I don't want to give you the outcome to that until you try it and we see what happens. But I can say I think that's a good consideration. And if you end up doing something with this, remind me of it because I think that's a good point.
Well, I think we have some pretty good plans. I also maybe wouldn't mind some simple traps, like just something along the idea of like a pitfall with some spikes. Maybe we could do a pitfall with like spikes and like some oil in the bottom. That way, if we do actually do fire, we can contain it to a hole in the ground. I don't know. Something that we could pull off. How long does it take to dig a big ass hole?
Long. Potentially, if you guys spend all day on that, you might be able to get it. Here's your big issue: you're not digging a hole for a person; you'd be digging a hole for a horse. And I would note that if you dig a hole for a horse and the horse hits that hole on the way in, you might not even have the gates closed at that point. Just gonna point that out to you.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that.
Like the pitfall, like if you're literally talking about a hole you dig, that is an instant like giveaway the moment they hit it. But you may want to do that.
We could do a smaller hole for a person or a couple people right by the table.
Yeah.
Caltrops. That's what I was trying to come up with. Does anyone have caltrops?
I left them in my other pants.
I don't think even Oleg has caltrops.
I bought so many different things to try to be useful. Caltrops is not one of them, unfortunately.
What if we wanted to try and make some kind of like little wooden caltrops, like two pointy sticks, like X'd together with some twine or something?
So it depends on what you're trying to go for. You're gonna have the same problem that I just mentioned, which is if you're attempting to use wooden sticks to do caltrops for the horses, they'll crush those things. You might actually give them a splinter, but they'll crush those things. If you're intending them to be for humans, you're going to throw them on the ground near a human as a human does. You could potentially manufacture something like that. But I'm just going to look up the rules for creating caltrops and hold you to them. And so I don't know if those are fast or slow to make right now. But I could look in between the games, and I could come back to you with a number.
I'm trying to think of good traps, but I'm coming up a little short.
Yeah, unfortunately, because they're on horses, there's a lot of things that, because we're not like experienced craftsmen or craft people with all the access to all the materials and crafting methods, it's going to be kind of tough.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that I only have 2 Tanglefoot bags, but that's probably the best thing to slow down the horses.
Right. And like I said, and again, we don't have to do it, but it's also why I was like, lantern oil. We could just light the whole thing on fire, and then the horses are freaking out and kicking their riders off, and potentially
it's only like a D3 of damage per round. It's probably not going to kill the horses.
I mean, it also depends. I mean, because like heavy horses have 19 hit points, but light horses may have less.
I'm sure they do. But I think they should have more than 6, and that's if they get max damage, and it only lasts for 2 rounds anyways. I think it would be okay.
Right.
I'm not against the oil plan. Anyway, we've been debating this for a while, and we're down a player. Do we want to try and get some input from Gawain next time?
I think that sounds good.
Yeah. We can do some discussion on that.
I mean, is there anything else we want to do before we call it?
I mean, the only thing I was going to say is that if he had some time, Storbjorn was going to start writing his saga and cataloging all the events that have happened, embellishing maybe some of the less than honest ways he came by his token, but otherwise writing his saga. And I'm going to go ahead and roll linguistics and see how good it sounds when he's reading it in his head.
Shouldn't be using linguistics for that, but go for it. Do it anyway.
Really? What? Okay, then does everything have to be profession scribe? Do I have to blow otherwise useless skill?
It should not be scribe, but it should definitely be a perform check. But for now, give me the linguistics.
Oh,
pretty good.
Yeah, what's that?
18.
18? That is pretty good.
You're a writer. You're writing. Okay, so as we end the game, Storbjorn has grabbed paper and pen and is putting words to paper. And Dalus has assessed the catapults and basically told us this is not viable. It's not viable if the bad guys show up in a day or two. It's viable if they show up in a week. And Aeloria is maybe okay with fire, and you have a rope idea for the doors, and I think we could leave it there that you are now mid plan. When we resume, you guys are going to take over this map. You're going to scribble onto the map like whatever you're doing, such as the ropes, and then we're gonna see if anything happens with it, and that'll be the next game day is what happens with what you do. We'll find out.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we get to start with maybe start with a fight. But anyway, that'll be good. That'll be fun.
Be kind of hot.
It'll be awesome.
So at this point, I guess we'll say thank you to all the viewers for coming in and watching. I can already tell you, viewers, that whatever you get delivered is going to be heavily edited because we had a couple of dry spots here, and I talked too much. So this is an almost 6-hour recording, and you're going to get 3. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching.
1.8x speed.
And thank you to Old Man Fallout for running.
Yes, thank you for running.
Thanks for running, OMF.
And thank you for making soup, Shadow.
Yeah.
Even though you didn't get a bonus for it.
I know, right? Rude.
Oh, goodness. You get so many cute girl advantages. You're fine. All right. Well,
What? No, that never happens.
thank you guys for playing. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
To blackberry vines to watch it swing and sway, and left a dozen crooked clues for dawn to chase away. Oh, the path began to sing, oh, the moss began to glow. Every leaf was a listening.